This holiday season, celebrate where Milwaukee comes together. 3rd Street Market Hall. Whether you're planning a private party, a semi-private gathering, or a festive social night out, we've got the space, the flavor, and the fun to make it unforgettable. With incredible local food vendors, craft cocktails, and built-in entertainment like shuffleboard, games, and more, your group will have a holiday party they'll talk about all year long. Visit 3rdstreetmarkethall.com for more information on booking your event.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? The Packers have the longest winning streak in the NFC after their 4th straight victory over the Chicago Bears last week.
Love has time. Floats one. Watson down. Touchdown, Packers.
All of a sudden, this looks like a team with real Super Bowl aspirations. But hold your horses. This week, the Pack head west to take on the Denver Broncos, who hold the league's longest winning streak of 10 straight.
I was at about 6 there. You don't want to see me go to 10.
The Broncos defense leads the NFL in sacks, but number 10 hopes to make Mile High a scoring gold mine. Something about things getting rocky for the Broncos gives me a mountain high. Denver might be famous for their omelets, but their football team is about to get folded like one. The Packers 9-3-1. The Broncos 11-2 in what could be a shootout of a Super Bowl preview in Week 15 of the NFL season.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin, there is a difference. Big one today in the Mile High City as the 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers take on the best record in the AFC, the longest win streak in the NFL. They've won 10 in a row, the 11-2 Denver Broncos. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Gabe Neitzel in the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, and joining us from their respective locations. He is known from his Little League fame in Green Bay, Wisconsin, an alumnus of the prestigious Green Bay Southwest High School, former commentator on Wipeout, former host of Sports Center. He is John Anderson with us on this Sunday afternoon. Doctor, how are you? And also joining us is the Super Bowl champion, the doctor of football, Brian Balaga, with us as well as we work on getting connected with those guys. Gabriel, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know how to feel about this one, Packers-Broncos, because it does feel like a good measuring stick game. It does feel like a good opportunity for the Packers to say, hey, all that hype about us being a true Super Bowl contender, a true top team in the NFC, hey, it's true. Jordan Love's MVP candidacy if he goes out and balls against a really good defense. That can all be proven true. Or we could walk out of this one going, okay, still some things to figure out for this team. And that's why it makes me, I don't want to say nervous, because I don't know that I ever really get nervous for games when I know my favorite team is good. But it's a good opportunity to play a team that's not in your division, not in your conference, go on the road, another good road challenge, and truly find some things out about this Packers team, because we're so late in the season. I still don't know that we know exactly how good they are.
Yeah, and look, I think this is a good test for them because while they've been on this nice winning streak of 4 games, I don't know if you would qualify any of those defenses as great defenses that they've been able to beat. And good defenses have given the Packers some issues at times this season. Look no further than the Cleveland Browns. Go on the road at Cleveland, score 10 points. At home against the Philadelphia Eagles, for all their issues, they're still playing some pretty good defense. Held the Packers to 7 points at home. So this is an opportunity to go, yeah, that is a really good defense, but we have found our groove on offense, and we are going to take advantage of that. And look, I think that that's not to say they're going to go out there and score 35 points. I think if you get to 21, that should be enough. with the way this defense has been playing, going up against Bo Nix, who hasn't been good. They haven't been able to run the ball efficiently since their starting running back went out and R.J. Harvey took over the majority of the carries for them. So it's an opportunity for this offense to go, yeah, even though that defense is really good, we're still going to be able to go out there and be able to move the ball and put up some points.
Yeah, you certainly hope so. And you mentioned the defense, and I feel like a big part of our commentary this week was reaction to Homer after the Bears game. And he was a little bit too harsh, I think we can all agree on, in terms of calling their effort pathetic in the second half against Chicago. But they were certainly winded, and Chicago was definitely able to move the football efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, and that was, again, that's where we talked about leading up to that game, running the football for the Bears. And that's where, again, the Packers don't give up explosive plays defensively and even running the football. But the problem is when you're consistently giving up 4 yards, 5 yards. The team run it on first down. Okay, they picked up 4. Now it's 2nd and 6. All right, they just picked up 5 yards, 3rd and 1. And they just constantly found themselves in those 3rd and short situations where the Bears were able to convert in the second half, and they just weren't able to get off the football field. Now, the Broncos don't run the ball as efficiently as the Bears do, so I think that's something that certainly should kind of tilt the scales back towards the Packers in terms of that. But the run defense... Look, they know it's especially interior. They know it's a weakness. It's a reason why they've gone out and been scouring practice squads and the waiver wire to try to pick up some beef to put in the middle of that line because they know teams are going to want to attack them there, shorten up games, and limit the possessions.
100% right from Gabe Neitzel of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with us each and every week here on Green Bay Game Day. And for our road games, we are always joined by the Super Bowl champion, and this is a perfect time to bring him into the conversation as the Packers play one of the best pass rushing team in the National Football League today in the Denver Broncos. That, of course, is the longtime offensive lineman, former first-round pick and Super Bowl champion, Brian Bulaga with us. Blue, we've seen this offensive line for the Packers seemingly improve week after week now that they've solidified the interior, but this is their toughest challenge yet. What do you make of the Packers offensive line heading into this big one against Denver today?
Yeah. Well, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
It's good to be back on with everybody. John, like you're staring right at me. I don't know if John can hear us yet or not, but like you're staring right at me. I feel like in the YouTube just staring.
No, we're
at
good. We got it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Like I told you guys when I was up in Green Bay with you guys and against Minnesota, when I was in the trailer with you guys doing the show, when I was able to pop in. Like, I think this is like the litmus test for them, right, as a unit. Like, I was thinking, you play Minnesota's defense, play Chicago's defense, Denver's defense is a legitimate defense. Like, right. Yeah, like this is a defense that you see in an AFC championship game or a Super Bowl. Like, this is what you would see. This is that caliber of defense. So, while they have improved, right, like I really think that they have from an offensive line standpoint, they have continuity going. They've been playing multiple games together. Guys haven't been moving around and playing different positions and rotating in and out because I've always said from the start, I find no benefit in that, right? And I get that's been a thing that they've been doing over the last 3 years is rotating guys in and out of series. But, like, to me, that does no good. That literally has no benefit. For my 10 years I was there, that never happened. That was something we never did. Like, even Matt's first year.
But it's a copycat league, Blue, and nobody else has copied it despite the Packers doing it, as you mentioned, for 3 years.
Yeah, like I disagree with that kind of concept of let's play him a series, and he gets a series, and he gets two, and then he gets another. So, like, I just don't like it. So now that they have the same guys in there, there's no worry of, oh man, if I have a bad series, I'm getting the pull here, and the next guy comes in. I think that gives guys a little bit more confidence, right? And they go out there and play, and they just cut it loose. Now, obviously Belton stepping in, I think that's improved the run game from an interior standpoint. Like, I think his physicality and how he's able to move guys off the ball and how he and Zach Tom are able to combo block and double team and get actual vertical push on runs is something that's critical because we all know, before this, Jacobs was having a hard time even getting, non-contact at the line of scrimmage, let alone getting into the second, level of this or the linebacker level of this defense before being touched. So I think he's done a lot of good to help this group out. And from a pass protection standpoint, like, listen, I think this will be, I mean, I get Denver's really good against the run too. I think they're good against everything. Like, that's why they're one of the best defenses in the league. But from a pass protection standpoint, like, this is when you're going to find out. Like, this is it. Like, they have good pass rushers up and down the entire defensive line. Guys are going to be put in one-on-one situations. The D coordinator is going to make sure they get put in one-on-one situations. That's what good defenses do. They make sure they scheme up situations where offensive linemen are isolated. And you know what? This is the NFL. You got to step up, put on your big boy pants, and go block one-on-one against really good players. And that's it. You're not going to do it all the time, right? It's not all the time. It's not 30-plus times a game like we kind of had to back in the McCarthy days. We had to go out there and Joe Philbin always told us, tackles block ends. They block ends, and that's what they do. You don't get any help. That's the way this world works. It's a little different now with the way, this offense runs and kind of the way it's structured out. But there's going to be tons of moments in this game that these guys are going to be singled up. And you just got to get ready to go and block really good pass rushers. And I think that this group can do it. Is it going to be clean all the time? No, because that's not the reality against really good defensive lines. It's just not. It's not always going to be clean. Even against, some of the best offensive lines I was on, you go play Seattle, you go play the San Francisco team with Aldon Smith and Justin Smith and these guys, like, it's never going to be perfect. There's no such thing as that because they're really good. They're really good. You just have to try to move on from when negative things happen and move on to the next one and don't let it snowball. And especially when you're on the road like this, because if you let this defense get going on the road and things start to snowball, it turns into a bad situation fast. So, I think this group can do it. They've been building up to this point. It's just got to go out there and get it done now. And I like the way they've been building, to be honest with you. I like the way they've been building. They've been building confidence. Big wins against good teams. In my opinion, you beat Detroit in Detroit, you beat Chicago. So the confidence is there. It's just going out there and getting it done at this point now.
Well said by Brian Bulaga, the Super Bowl champion. This has become my favorite question to ask, other than yes or no, during our road games. When John Anderson joins us, I just go, "What's on John Anderson's mind today?"
Mine is very much like Brian without the practical NFL snaps for experience. Which is how are we going to keep our guy upright? Because I think that comes down to the whole thing. And it goes back to what my old saw about how on Tuesday and Wednesdays and Thursdays, coaches tell you there's no way you can understand football because it's too complicated with the load schemes and the personnel groupings. And then after this game, no matter what happens, LaFleur is going to go, listen, we either blocked him or we didn't block him. And it's going to be like Pop Warner. And I really feel like it's that simple. And so I don't know what we're going to do for the next 2 hours and 43 minutes or whatever we're going to be on. But it'll be that simple. They'll either block him and let him have enough chances. And right, they'll get to him once or twice. I get it. That happens. But they'll either block him well enough for Jordan Love to make plays or Jacobs to make plays and the offense can move. Or they'll get swarmed under. And that I think is going to be the entire game. And it'll be a little bit on the other side as well. If the front for the Packers has its way with the offensive line of the Broncos, then the Packers will come on top. Like, it really is. I look at this. This is like really one of those trench games because you can draw up all kinds of fancy plays, man. But if you can't, right, they can get blown up in no time. I had coaches more than once tell me, right, it takes 11 guys to make an offensive play work. It takes one defensive guy to mess it all up. And there's some guys in here on both sides that can mess it all up and they can do it quick. So that to me is the entire game, is if you can keep your guys out of harm's way. Because, you've seen this too, right? Even if you don't get right to him, if you're at his feet, if you make him move, if he throws off balance, if it gets away from, all that can come from just getting up into the quarterback and making him uncomfortable. So I feel like that is what's on my mind today, is which of these groups, defensive line-wise, will have the better day. Which I guess then the other side is which of these is which offensive line has a better day. Those are, I don't know that you can separate those. Those are kind of cleaved together. But that's what I think it comes down to. If it's tight, I like our quarterback over their quarterback. Nick's has done some fun stuff, but Nick's also does some really goofy, crazy things as well. So I'm not quite as sold on him as I am Jordan Love. But it's just going to be the guys in the trenches will decide if all the other guys get to participate.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Always good to hear what's on the mind of John Anderson, Brian Balaga, Gabe Neitzel, Alex Strofe with you. It is Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I want to talk about Jordan Love's MVP candidacy because his rise in year 3 as a starter, and especially during this time of the year, Carathon, as we've dubbed it, has been very impressive. So we will dive into the quarterback coming up next. But first, Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. Distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's known for great vodka, giving back, and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. We talk number 10. Coming up next, Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Are you looking for a way to make an impact this holiday season? Donate to Life Navigator Soap Suds Drive. It's simple. Your donation of body wash, hand soap, lotion, or laundry pods will help local kids and adults with disabilities stay safe, happy, and healthy all year. Please consider donating this holiday season to the Life Navigator Soap Suds Drive. Learn more on how you can donate at lifenavigators.org. Life Navigators has been your disability partner for 75 years. Learn more at lifenavigators.org.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants.
Purchase a gift card at Bartolotta's.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference continues. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champion Brian Bulaga with you. A lot of scoring already, early goings of this noon slate. The Texans lead the Cardinals 10-0. It was a Nico Collins 57-yard touchdown reception in the first minute of that game to give the Texans an early lead. Jags lead the Jets 7-0. Eagles on top of the Raiders, a Dallas Goedert touchdown reception 7-0. Commanders in front of the Giants, and maybe what's the ugliest game of the week, 3-0. Drake May, with only his third rushing touchdown of the season, has the Patriots in front of the Bills in New England up 7-0, and it was Patrick Mahomes, a rushing touchdown for him. How about that? 7-0. Chiefs lead the Chargers early. No score in Bears, Browns, or Ravens. Bengals. I mentioned Drake May. I haven't mentioned Matthew Stafford yet because he plays later in the day. And Jordan Love. Those are your top three candidates for the MVP according to every sports book in America right now. In order, it is Stafford, May, Love. And Jordan Love has played his way back into the MVP conversation because he has been excellent over the course of this 4-game winning streak for Green Bay. Brian, I want to start with you. Just his growth and the ability to really place the ball well. His accuracy has gone up. He's only thrown 4 interceptions, including one last week against Chicago this season. It just seems like he's getting better and better every year he's been at the helm of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I agree. And it's no surprise how he's stacking up in this MVP race. I mean, as Green Bay continues to ascend as well, right? Like as they continue to play better and keep adding wins and, he puts on these performances, obviously, that's a credit to him and how he's playing, how he's preparing and all that. But you start to get into these big spotlight games, right? And you play well and you play really good. The MVP attention will start to drift towards you, right? You will be in that talk. You're going to be in the hunt all the time with that. I mean, that was pretty consistent year in and year out for the guy before him. That was the way it was almost every year when you perform at a high level and you start to win a lot of football games and you're on the main stage every week. And that's where you want to play every week. You want to play at the 325 kick or whatever it may be. You want to be on that stage every single week. You want to get flexed every single week this time of year and play well because that's what puts you in to the MVP race as a quarterback. That's what it is. And he continues now week in and week out to just perform and perform and perform. And you saw last year early on, there were a lot of questions about the accuracy and decision making and things like that. I mean, it's like it's not even like a thought right now. Like it's not even you don't even think about what happened early on last year because obviously he was dealing with injuries and things like that. He was trying to manufacture things and you understand it. You understand what he was doing. He got the big deal, trying to make this thing his own, right? Like you get empowered as a quarterback. I mean, this is your franchise now. So, he's trying to make things happen. But I think now this year, that big contract that's in the past now. And now it's just, hey, let's just play football. And I'm going to be who I am. And there's no added pressure to be, the $55 million man. It's just, I'm going to be Jordan Love. I'm going to be the best version of that. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And it's very fun to watch, and he's very accurate with the ball. He's very calm. If he does make a mistake, it's just like turning the page. Like he just moves on to the next one, and it's like it never happened again, which to me is the sign of a very good quarterback. And listen, I understand Drake May's doing some good things in New England. Like I understand that. Like I think he's, obviously, what is he in his second year now, and I think he's progressing well as a quarterback. But if we're starting a ball club, I'm not taking Drake May over Jordan Love. I'm being honest, right? The kid may end up being phenomenal in 3. He may be that guy in 3 years. I have no idea. But I'm just looking at the way they play right now. You're telling me if I got to start it today, And like I'm gonna take Jordan Love because I think as a passer and things of that like that, I think he is a better quarterback. Like I mean, and that's just my opinion. Now, the way Stafford's playing, that's going to be hard to top currently. It just is. That's going to be very hard to top at this point in time. Stafford's playing lights out. The Rams team is really good. When you get to throw to Devontae and Puka Nacua and all those, like, listen, you're gonna put up 275, 300 yards passing every week. Like, that's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna throw 3 touchdowns every week. Like that's when you have those weapons. That's what you're gonna get. So, I understand because the Patriots are playing amazing right now and they're winning every single game. But if I look at it from an MVP race, I mean, I like Jordan versus Stafford, and it's going to be hard to overcome Stafford. Like, I just think it is. I just think that's going to be a tough one to climb right now at this point.
Well, maybe the Lions, his former team, can make him look like a not so MVP today, and Love can continue his pace, and maybe we're having a different conversation tomorrow. John Anderson, your impression of the third-year starter, sixth-year quarterback Jordan Love this season?
Well, I still can't bring myself to admit that a North Carolina quarterback's any good. Like, you go look at really, like when they drafted Drake May, I'm like, well, that's not going to go well. He's a North Carolina quarterback. I'm like, there's nobody that's come through there that's been any good. And listen, Mac Brown's got a history of really good college quarterbacks, and then nobody goes out and plays, right? I thought, okay, here's the next Mitchie 6 points, and we'll see what happens with him. So he's been better than I thought. Stafford is just like that guy can still play, man. Like, that's ridiculous. Again, it helps that, we protect quarterbacks so you can play till you're 40, whatever it is again, but he's great. I am quite surprised that Jordan's actually in there. I don't think anybody outside of Green Bay truly kind of appreciates how well he plays or how well he runs that offense. He's getting some, but right now, like, I look at that and I think he is a distant third. People, LA, totally love Stafford, rightly so. Team's good. People are all on the bandwagon because of such a turnaround of what's happened in New England, and I think that factors into that thing goes big, right? Like, if Jordan Love goes and leads his team back to the playoffs, you're like, okay, that's what he's done the first 2 years. Drake May has taken a team that last year, right? It's maybe, by the way, could we just interject that maybe Gerard Mayo couldn't coach, but they, the flip to him over to Vrabel has been such a big deal that I think that's why he is going to continue to people are going to slobber all over that guy. But that's okay. He doesn't appear to me to be a guy that just really needs all those accolades. He just goes out and plays. So if the people nationally that, even though top three-ish, that only really appreciate what he does for the ball club, all wear blaze orange or green and gold, that's fine with me. I think he's fine with him. So it is nice for that recognition. It's nice to see that the Packers recent play has brought him back into that conversation. But right now, like, I'm not, if he won, I would just, you could knock me over with a feather. I just don't see that coming. But I think he's the right guy for this team right now. And so that's all I really care about. Is he going to play Sunday against the Broncos, or last week against the Bears? And, he's a guy that if we go back and look, right, it's not just if we just put up stats too, which is where I think Stafford's been really good, is just like that guy seems to get the points he needs when you need the points. And that's really can be hard to do. And for 30 years, the Packers have had that guy,
Yeah.
So if his numbers are not always that gaudy, even though, right, he's got more wins, I think, now than Aaron and or Brett in those first 50 some odd games. But the ability to get the points you need when you need those points is that's a quality that's hard to be measure, right? I guess they have the clutch things. Oh, in the last 5 minutes and this, that, and the other thing. Even that can be deceiving. But I think that might be his best quality. Steady and when you really need them. Now, in between there, once in a while, I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and step on their heads so I don't really need you in the end, right? This is what I always most appreciate about Aaron, and Brian's been in a lot of those games, right? You go look at all-time fourth quarter comebacks, and Aaron's kind of way down on the list for all the other standards where he's in the top 5, and you're like, oh, that's right, because he just pounded people out in the third quarter, and we didn't need to have to hang around and do that stuff. That would be the step I'd really like to see him to take, because every time I watch that Packers team, I still think they leave 10 points out there every game. And if he could get those 10 points, man, would the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter be easier on my life, and probably your guys too. I don't know, maybe a life drama, but I don't need to sit on the edge of my seat. I'm totally happy to relax and lay down the coach.
It does feel like a good day, though, John, for a Jordan Love signature drive. Let's go to the man not wearing his blaze orange, but his green and gold today. That is Gabe Knights.
What's exciting about how well he's playing right now is that you can still see the room to grow, whether it's what John's talking about. And one of his superpowers is being able to throw that fadeaway, right? He's fading back. He's able to throw it. Sometimes relies on it too much. Threw late, and then Bo Melton had to become a defensive back for the first time all year while playing wide receiver and get an offensive pass interference call last week. So I look at his ability to throw that very similarly to one of the guys who's, again, likely going to win the MVP in Matthew Stafford. Earlier in his career in Detroit, he was really good at dropping down and throwing sidearm. Could really do that. Well, sometimes he'd do it a little too often out of a clean pocket when he wouldn't need to manufacture that angle. Ball would sail over the middle and be an easy interception for a safety. And now, again, he just obviously cleaned those things up as he progressed in his Hall of Fame career. So I think it's one of those things where Jordan's really good at this one thing and maybe relies on it a little too much. And if he just cleans that up, and again, he doesn't have to clean it up much. It's just every once in a while he over relies on it, where he cleans that up, he can take another step, because that's what his predecessors did. John referenced the numbers, and I think that's been floating around this week about how close and similar his numbers through this many games are to Aaron Rodgers. Well, after the third season and into that postseason, that's when Aaron Rodgers took off and became the Aaron Rodgers we all eventually knew him to be, the 4-time MVP, future Hall of Famer. So, yeah, he was at that level that Aaron was, and then Aaron took another step. So that's what's next for Jordan Love. Can you take that next step in order to be a little bit more consistent and be able to put teams away in the third quarter instead of having to do it in the fourth?
Feels like a good day.
I just want to say, I know we talk about Carathon, right? And how good he is during Carathon, right? Like, I think I look at it to kind of like on top of what Gabe is saying. Like, I want to see it like starting week 1.
Yep.
Like week 1. Like, just be Carathon week 1 and make Carathon a 20-week marathon, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does that. And I'm not saying, listen, he's not going to play perfect every single game. It doesn't happen. It's not real life. It just isn't, right? Like, I am certainly not asking for that. There's no way. But you see like patterns of consistency, right? Like in how he plays. And for some reason, this time of year, the dude literally is like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like the statistics are ridiculous. How he performs is out of this world. And just like you carry that like 6-7 weeks earlier, like, you know what I'm saying? You're playing like this 6-7 weeks earlier, the MVP race may be done and dusted, right? You continue this trend 6-7 weeks earlier, and Green Bay probably has like 2 or 3 more wins. This thing's done. Like, like the MVP race is over. So like, that's, I think, the next step. Like what I agree with Gabe is like that consistency, and you just build on that a little bit, and you carry that into next year. And listen, easier said than done. Obviously, easier said than done. I understand it's the NFL. Nothing's easy, but that would be, I think, the progression for him, because he's so dang good for some reason, starting at the end of November all the way through. Like, I don't get it.
I really don't either, but I won't complain about it, because as we've talked about many times, you want to be playing your best football in December and January, and that seemingly is when Jordan Love plays his best football. It's very strange, but here we are again, third year in a row. That seems to be the case. Hey, it seems like a good day for our Winter Warriors to go out and grill up some brats and burgers. And you know it wouldn't be Wisconsin without brats on the grill and Coop's mustard on top. Coop's part of my game day tradition, should be part of your game day tradition. From classic yellow to spicy brand to jalapeno and all the in-betweens, Coop's mustard brings the flavor. Coop's mustard, spreading the love since 1897. Find it at a retailer near you. We go to enemy territory. We head out to Denver to talk with our buddy Rob Demowski of ESPN Denver, a place, by the way, Green Bay has only won once in their franchise's history. Back in 2007, it was an overtime win for the Packers. Haven't won there since. They look to do that here today as 2.5-point favorites. ESPN's Rob Demowski joins us coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulders. It's time with family and friends. But in 2026, that all could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee believe relief doesn't just come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers that long-term relief that you're finally looking for. Make the new year your turning point, where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that first step. Literally, time to walk, enjoy the holidays, live without pain, and live without hesitation. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today at QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
At every meeting, at every new beginning, at every celebration, we make better happen. At Cousin Subs, better is more than just a word. It's a promise we serve at every party. Our customizable party boxes, box lunches, party chips, and dozen cookie boxes offer the options you need to please any crowd. Whatever the occasion, we will never settle for being just good enough. Order on our mobile app or online at cousinsubs.com. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference, and we continue. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Brian Balaga, John Anderson with you, and we are always thrilled to be joined by our buddy Rob Demowski, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, covering the Packers like a blanket. Rob, I heard you're like in a tropical vacation right now. I heard what, 61 degrees at kickoff in Denver?
I believe so, Strophe. It is currently 54, and it was cold this morning when I got up, and it was about 30. But it warms up quickly, and I think it cools off quickly. But right now, the sun is shining on the 80 yards of the field. The last 20 is in the shade, but it is beautiful. This climate is outstanding. You could ski in the morning and go play golf in the afternoon.
Feels like -4 in Milwaukee right now, Rob.
Sorry about that.
Sweet. Sure, it sounds awesome. All right, bring us up to speed on everything going on with the running backs. We've got an illness for Emmanuel Wilson. We've got a questionable but more probable designation for Josh Jacobs. Break us down with the latest.
Yeah, the thing with Jacobs is, it's been sore and swollen, and it just depends on the day. Like some days he gets fluid on there, and it swells up and stiffens. So even though as of last night, it looked like he was going to play because he got through practice, okay on Friday. I mean, there's still a chance, I suppose, that it could bother him this morning, although we're into early afternoon now, so I'm guessing it's fine. We would have heard otherwise. I guess the good thing with Emmanuel Wilson is he got sick on, Saturday morning. I don't know what he's got, but by now he's, if it's a 24-hour thing, he should be okay. But they did bring up, a practice squad running back, and, just in case. But they should be okay, Strophe, today. I think they're going to be fine with those guys.
Huh. Okay. Gabe?
When you take a look at this matchup against this great defense of Denver, where do you think they're going to try to attack? Because they're number one in the league in allowing rushing yards per attempt, tops in the league in sacks, on the way to potentially setting the NFL team sack record, while Myles Garrett is on his way to potentially setting the single season record. Where do you think the weaknesses are that they can try to take advantage of?
Well, they don't take the ball away at a high level, do they?
No, they do not. They're the inverse of the Bears. The yards and points are low, and the takeaways they don't. Right. They just aren't there.
Right. So that tells me if you can somehow block their front, you're going to have some time to take some shots. Now, obviously, that's a big if. You can get a little risky because they aren't, prone to taking the ball away too much. And obviously, Jordan's been, pretty good. He had the one bad one in the game last week, but for the most part, he's in a pretty good rhythm. And I would think that, that's the way they got to go. He's been so good. I wrote this for ESPN.com. I think it ran Friday on just how good he's been at the 20-yard downfield throws, 20 plus, and not just not just bombs, but I'm talking like the deep crosses, the posts, things like that. And to me, that's where they have a chance to maybe make some hay here. And it's obviously conditions are going to be perfect to throw the ball. So that's where I think they have to be able to block their front. But if they do, I think they got a chance to make some plays.
Rob, how this is Brian, by the way, if you couldn't tell. What defensively, obviously, I feel really good about our defense in this matchup against Denver's offense. You kind of look at the way Denver plays offensively. They're a little helter-skelter with things, right? Like they'll look good, then they'll go into a fourth quarter against the Giants and score 20-something unanswered. They're kind of that way. But what do the Broncos are going to have to rely on to try to beat this Green Bay defense? Like, what are they going to have to do?
Yeah, what they do well, Brian, is they think they can win, right? And it sort of doesn't matter how they do it. You win 10 games in a row in this league, and it's no accident, right? And they've got an 11-game home winning streak, longest active streak in the league. They find ways. They may not be great at anything, but offensively, they seem to get the job done. From a young quarterback standpoint, the kid, Bo Nix, has got some composure. He really does. He seems a little bit, maybe mature beyond his years. And, I think it may be hard to rattle him, but somehow, some way, you got to find a way. And this might be a game where the Packers defense needs to come up with a takeaway or two. Obviously, they're starting to get a few more of those here later in the year. They haven't been getting them, but to me, this is like, boy, what a Micah Parsons strip sack fumble deep in Broncos territory would do on a day like today. You know, I just think those are the kind of things that might have to happen today.
Oh, not hearing John. We will,
John, I think you're on mute.
I don't think I am.
No.
I don't think I am.
The first
Pot
time
up that
anyone's
damn
ever muted
microphone.
John Anderson.
I know that's people trying to steal my thunder. I want to know what the Broncos are even doing here. The Russell Wilson trade was so bad; they lost so much capital.
Yeah.
I feel like what Sean Payton has done in a short time is one of the most unbelievable coaching jobs that we've seen. And I don't know where you gear that, where you fall on that, but I just think it's remarkable this team is here and winning any games, let alone 10 in a row.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, John. I was never a big Sean Payton guy, and not saying he's not a good coach. But what always bothered me, and you can call me a homer if you want on this, but what always bothered me is that basically his record is exactly Mike McCarthy's record, and everyone thinks Sean Payton is a genius, and people think Mike is, a buffoon for some reason. Like, Mike's been to the same. I think Mike might have even been to one more conference championship game than Payton. They've won one Super Bowl. Their winning percentage, like before this year, was almost identical. And yet Sean Payton is the boy genius because he kisses the national media's ass. I mean, that's sort of been the narrative.
Yeah.
In my
and the Parcells thing.
Hell yeah.
And the Parcells thing.
Yeah, that's sort of been my opinion on him. I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but if you're going to give him everything that people give him, then you got to give that to the guys who have accomplished the same thing. So, but to that, I preface that all by saying maybe he is a pretty damn good coach because of what he's done with this team. So, but like, if you're going to crown him, let's do it let's do it fairly across the board.
Wow. I like that. That was some heat
Sorry,
from Rob
my
Demowski.
rant is over.
No, I want more of it.
Rob,
let's ride.
I have been a long time believer of everything you just said. I'm just glad somebody else is saying it too.
I love it. Rob Demowski, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, covering the Packers with us here on Green Bay game day ahead of Packers Broncos out in Denver. I'm still a little puzzled, and we talked about this before. Brian was so good on it on the offensive line. How they rotated, and now it seems like we've settled in. We should not expect any more rotations the rest of the year, right?
Barring injury, no, I don't think we will. And I mean, Anthony Belton has really settled in at right guard and been like the power guy that they were looking for from that position.
Okay, at wide receiver, not necessarily the way you think it will go, but if you had to rank in terms of the snaps they should receive based on how they've played, how would you rank the top 5 for the Packers? Because it seems like everybody should be healthy and good to go in this game.
Yeah, that's a great question, Gabe. I mean, Christian Watson is, to use a Mike McCarthy line, number one. Like, letter A, number one. I love Mike always used to say that. So he is number one. I just haven't seen enough of Jaden Reed to tell if he can be number 2, but I mean, his talent level should put him there. He's only played what did he play, about 25 snaps last week in his return, and so I would put him 2. If Dontavion Wicks and Matthew Golden were healthy, fully healthy, like not limited, not battling injuries, I might put them both ahead of Romeo Doubs. Now, it doesn't mean I don't think Doubs is a good player, but lately Doubs just hasn't gotten many opportunities lately, and he hasn't made any plays when he's gotten opportunities. So I guess I'd go, I mean, from a talent standpoint, Golden would clearly be 3rd, but from a recency bias, I mean, Dontavion Wicks, what he did in Detroit, I'd probably give him the 3rd most snaps, probably either Doubs or Golden, 4th and 5th.
Gabe feels very vindicated right now, but we'll save that story for another time. Brian, go ahead.
So, obviously, Rob, you told Trophy at the beginning that both backs are probably going to be fine to go in this one. Obviously, we'll see when the report comes out, or the inactives do.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, like, obviously illness is one thing, right? Like, you're sick, you get over it. Like, you're going to, I mean, may not be 100%, but it's not like your knee's full of fluid, like Jacobs' situation.
Yeah.
How much do you think we're even going to see of Jacobs? Like, because if this continues on and on, right? Like, and you continue to run him and not just sit him for a week or two.
Yeah.
I mean, how effective is he essentially going to be? Because, like, to me, it's like you're going to have to shut him down at some point to let this thing get a week of healing at some point.
Yeah, I will say this, Brian. He said on that 3rd and 2 run, or 3rd and 1, whatever it was, that he turned into 21 yards, that his knee was really bothering him and was stiff and swollen on that play. But he managed to make a heck of a play. So maybe he's okay playing this way. And maybe it's just one of those deals where, you know, like a lot of veterans late in the year, they just don't practice very much, right? And, you know, he didn't practice at all until Friday. And, you know, maybe basically having, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to rest it is enough. And then by the end of the week, you're okay. You know, so I think that at this point, assuming he plays today, I think that's an okay plan. Now, if it really bothers him and he's got to drop out, then you got to start thinking about, okay, do we have to sit him for a week or two? Maybe, this is just a maybe, but what if they win today and beat Chicago next week? Maybe they can sit him, you know, one of those last 2 games or both of those last 2 games to get him right for the playoffs. But you got to take care of business these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
13 games in a month to go. Is there any one drumbeat around the locker room that LaFleur is pounding into these guys that they need over the next month? Is there a message or anything that is consistent in terms of where they need to improve? Here in December,
from an X's and O's standpoint, I don't know that he's let on to anything, or if he has, they're not letting on to us. I do think though he got really pissed early in the year when, you know, guys were talking about going to the Super Bowl, going undefeated, all that early season talk, and that really bothered him. And I do think guys have been much more cautious and more business-like and workman-like the last couple of weeks. I mean, you haven't heard anybody talking about feedings. You haven't heard anybody talking about Pro Bowl or All-Pro type individual accomplishments, which I think is a good sign, John, in terms of, you know, where the team is at in a headspace standpoint going into the final month of the season.
Rob, we'll get you out of here on this. I saw you just tweeted this before jumping on with us. The Packers 1-7 all-time in Denver. The lone win coming in 2007, an overtime win. Denver also with an 11-game home game winning streak. Easy for me to say, which is the longest streak in the NFL. What's it going to take for the Packers to get a victory on the road today?
Well, not letting Denver's defense dictate the game. Like, that's just, to me, you know, they have to take the punch to Denver and let Denver react rather than the other way around. And if they do that, I think they got a really good chance to win. If not, you know, we're probably going to Chicago, assuming that they beat the Browns today. We're probably going into next week's game at Chicago with the same set of circumstances and what's at stake as it was going into the last game. But Packers have obviously a real chance to give themselves the opportunity to have a little bit of cushion by winning today. And I think certainly if they do that, you know, they probably feel pretty good about themselves, but it is not going to be easy. I do think, Strophy, I think this is their hardest game of the season that they have played or will play.
I agree with you on that. This is a really fun test here in week number 15 in the NFL season. Rob, appreciate the time as always. Safe travels. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I
guess it's actually 6 days. Does that count as next week?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll be back doing this in 6 days. Shorter week for the Packers as they get ready for the Bears next Saturday night in Chicago. We will take a look at our I Need a Hero coming up next. But first, it is game day. And if you're in Green Bay or going up to Green Bay anytime soon, you should make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company, which is just over the border of Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour from Green Bay. Award-winning, locally owned, organically grown, the best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. We will take a look at our I Need a Hero, presented by Network Health, coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. It Doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Greasy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Retail stores may be easy to shop at, but nothing beats a gift that lasts. Give the gift of basketball with Precision Sports Services. Get 10% off any basketball hoop and installation package now through the end of the year. Premium products, professional in-house installation. Visit Precision Sports Services and make your holidays a slam dunk.
Whoa! What are these? Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks. Available in 2 great flavors, cheesy garlic or pepperoni. Both delicious. Screamin' Sicilian doesn't play around. They're fully loaded breadsticks that come in their own bakeable tray.
Dang! Woo! These are next level. Are they the main course?
Nah, just the appetizer. Find Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian loaded breadsticks. Bring the party, bring the flavor.
Tsunami Express Car Wash is now open in West Dallas at 10928 West Oklahoma Avenue, and they're celebrating big. From December 10th through the 21st, roll in for a free T2 wash with graphene, a $25 value, totally free. And keep that shine going with the Unlimited Club. Just $5 for your first month, and 100% of those proceeds support Special Spaces Wisconsin. New wash, new location, and a chance to do some good this holiday season. Tsunami Express West Dallas, now open. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to ESPN NBA analyst Monica McNutt. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Target's last-minute deals are here, right on time to get you holiday ready in no time. Snap beauty gift sets for every style, the hottest toys, can't miss entertainment, crowd-pleasing candy, and much more. All under $20. Whether you're hosting or welcoming surprise guests, you'll be ready for all of it for less. Grab them now before they're gone. Last-minute deals under $20. Happening now, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Tess, what's up?
Oh, you know, the CFO needs me to book a week of travel. I'm days behind on invoices. The plants in the lobby are dying, and now I have to order lunch for 80 with gluten-free options.
Just use Easy Cater.
Easy Cater?
One platform built for workplaces. Tons of great restaurants, any group size, with tools to meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Plus, rewards.
Rewards?
You earn rewards points when you order. Good for discounts or even gift cards for you.
Now that's what's up.
Easy Cater, the easy, rewarding way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
It is Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Gabe Knights on the Gruber Law Offices, One Call Out Cell Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. We are joined, as always, as we are for road games, by the Super Bowl champion Brian Bulaga and Wipeout legend John Anderson with us as well. Is that a better thing to bring up when I explain the history of John Anderson? I know you like bringing up your Babe Ruth championship in Green Bay, but
yeah. No, well, that's only because the trophy's still out for the Babe Ruth Championship. No.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Just spell my name right. It's okay. Just don't confuse me with John Anderson, the Packer. That's all I care about. Like, And not that anybody does, but we're getting old enough now where on occasion I've had people think that's who I was.
Very good.
Did you ever do the wipeout course?
Good God, no. You see what happens to those people?
Yeah,
No.
I didn't know if you ever thought or curious enough that you would, off camera decided to give it a go.
If I may let me just zoom off real quick. I'll tell you one quick story about that.
Okay.
I was at the U.S. Open with Paul Azinger. We were covering the Open, and he goes, "Have you ever run it?" And I said, "No. Why? That would be dumb. Why would I ever want to do that?" And he goes, "I think if you're going to commentate on it, you should have to run it. That only makes sense." And I said, "Listen, I'm about to broadcast the U.S. Open, and no one has said I should play in this tournament either. So I feel like if you want to go talk to, at the time, who was it, Mike Davis, and get me a spot there in the old field of 156, I'll play this one. Then I'll go run the obstacle course." And since that never came through, I have never gone back and tried to do it. But as soon as I get a tee time from the USGA, we'll fire that sucker up.
I love it. I love it from John Anderson here on Green Bay Game Day. All right, it's time now to look at our I Need a Hero, a player we believe needs to step up for the Packers to win on the road for only the second time in franchise history at Denver today. Network Health honored to serve many veteran members, also proud to count veterans among their employees. That's because they're based right here. In Wisconsin, they are able to develop health plans specifically with their veterans in mind. Network Health. Gabe Neitzel, tell Bonnie Tyler who you need to be a hero.
I need Jaden Reed to be a hero for the Packers today. I think that with everything the Broncos defense does well, they stop the run. They've got a good secondary, reigning defensive player of the year in Patrick Surtain. And Surtain lives on the outside. So that's going to make life difficult for Christian Watson, for Wicks, for Dobbs, and Reed being the slot guy. I think he's going to have some success. Some catch and run stuff out of him today, I think, is what the Packers need if they're going to solve the riddle that is the Broncos defense.
It is a riddle, no doubt about that. I like that Jaden Reed pick. Good by you. Let's go to John Anderson, Mr. Wipeout.
Man, I feel like I'm getting in Blues area. Is the offensive line one guy or is it one unit? Because I feel like those guys are going to be it where I prefaced that, an hour ago.
Well,
so I don't know if does it have to be one guy? Because, we're a glove, man. We're a fist. We don't have just one offensive lineman. We're all together.
What I've learned with you.
Am I all right? That was my mantra.
You're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
And so I feel like I need those five guys across. And then in honor of the great Broncos line coach Alex Gibbs, after they do their job, I don't want to hear a damn word out of them. Just don't say anything. Just take your pads off, get in your shower, get on the damn plane.
All right.
I like it.
Well, there you have it, Brian.
Yeah. I'm going to go like John. Obviously, I love the pick because I think it's very true. And I'm going to stay in the same boat, but I'm going to go on the other side of the ball in the defensive line. Because like John said it to start the program, I'm going to reiterate it. This is a trench game. That's all this is. Like, there's no if, and, or buts about it. It's a trench game. It's whoever wins the battle up front is going to win this football game. There's no, quarterbacks aren't going to be able to do what they want to do. If the guys in front of them, they're not going to be able to run away from these DNs. It's not happening. Or they're not going to be able to escape the pressure from the interior guys because, that's how good these defensive fronts are. So for me, it's our defensive line. Our front four has to win in the run game and in the pass game by themselves. The front four, they have to do it. So to me, I look at it as a combined unit like John is with the offensive line. I think it's the front four of our D-line. I need them all to play a phenomenal game.
I like that one too. Can I just simply say Jordan Love? If he stays upright,
you can say that every week if you want.
I think I do. Well, as I was going to say before, John, when you were asking what the rules were to this exercise, I've learned we can't tell you what to do. You're just going to do. So similarly to that, I pretty much do pick Jordan Love just about every week. It's either him or Evan Williams, it feels. Those are my guys this season. Love those guys. But I'm going to pick Jordan Love. He stays upright. He continues to play the way he has during what we've lovably called Carathon. I think they'll win that game today. So those are our I Need a Heroes here on Green Bay Game Day. We talked to our buddy, Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, coming up next because it is the Jason Wilde hour of Green Bay Game Day. We will hit yes or no. We will hit the injury report and all the in-betweens with Jason coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
There's a holiday gift out there that everyone loves. It's compact, tasty, and one size fits all. It's a Cousin Subs gift card. Make your life a little easier. Give your friends and family a better gift this holiday season. Purchase $30 in gift cards today at your favorite Cousin Subs location and receive a certificate for a free 7.5-inch sub. Oh man, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Right now, you can get 40% off your Iron Jock gear. Use code CHRISTMAS40. That's code CHRISTMAS40 for 40% off your order. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? The Packers have the longest winning streak in the NFC after their 4th straight victory over the Chicago Bears last week.
Love has time. Floats one. Watson down. Touchdown, Packers.
All of a sudden, this looks like a team with real Super Bowl aspirations. But hold your horses. This week, the Pack head west to take on the Denver Broncos, who hold the league's longest winning streak of 10 straight.
I was at about 6 there. You don't want to see me go to 10.
The Broncos defense leads the NFL in sacks, but number 10 hopes to make Mile High a scoring gold mine. Something about things getting rocky for the Broncos gives me a mountain high. Denver might be famous for their omelets, but their football team is about to get folded like one. The Packers 9-3-1. The Broncos 11-2 in what could be a shootout of a Super Bowl preview in Week 15 of the NFL season.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strove.
Let's go, Hour 2, Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strove, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Brian Balaga. Of Wipeout fame, as we previously discussed, John Anderson. And joining us now, the very amused 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year. He won't get folded like an omelet. It is Jason Wilde. What's up, Jason?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Life is good, man. How are you?
I am great. Sydney's first club volleyball tournament of the season. I want to thank my guy Nathan here at the Champion Center that found a spot for me, and I want to thank Chad, who doesn't know that I'm using his office because he's off today. But thank you, Chad, the pride of Reedsburg and the pride of Cardinal Stritch University. So shout out to Nathan and Chad for giving me somewhere to do this in between matches.
Do you know Chad, or do you just see his diplomas in his office?
Don't know Chad at all. No, he's an important guy here at the Champion Center, and Nathan was nice enough to let me use his office. So wanted to make sure he got plenty of love on ESPN Wisconsin today.
Very good. I ask John Anderson this every time we speak with him, but I'm curious for Jason, from a storyteller and a beat writer perspective, what's on your mind ahead of this one between the Packers and the Broncos?
Well, I appreciate your what do you call that? What do you call that imaging that you put together there? Was that a montage? Because Jesse puts a lot more of other people's voices in his montages than you did with yours, which is surprising, frankly.
It's more of a dramatic setup, and I don't put that together. That's Will Summers, our producer here on Green Bay Game Day. We kind of co-write.
You're just the narrator.
I'm just the narrator. Yeah.
Okay. But I think you hit on a couple of the storylines, and one of them is, I do think that there is a chance, and I'm not predicting either of these teams will actually be in the Super Bowl, but there's no reason to think neither one can be, right? I think they both have some flaws. I'm very curious to see what Bo Nix plays like today. But the fact of the matter is you've got two of the best defenses in the league. You've got two teams that seem to be on varying degrees of a roll, right? I mean, look, the Broncos have won 11 games this season, but as Matt LaFleur repeatedly brought up, they've trailed in 9 of the fourth quarters of those 11 wins. And the whole idea that the Packers, who have been in some positions where you've heard Matt LaFleur talk about how there were opportunities to close the game out earlier and they didn't, this would be a team that you want to make sure that if you have that opportunity, you do not squander it, given their track record in the fourth quarter. So I just, the person that I would say struck me the hardest this week in all the conversations I had was Xavier McKinney, who flat out said, this is a pre-test for the real test. This is a playoff game. But obviously they're not on the same side of the bracket. This is an AFC team. So I think the way the Packers are viewing this is, hey, this is our opportunity to experience a playoff environment that's not against a rival, not against a team that we could see in the playoffs until, obviously, if and when they were to make the Super Bowl. And it's a chance to not only show what they are, but maybe find out a little more about what they are. Because I think despite a 4-game winning streak, I think there are still aspects of this team that they're very much trying to figure themselves out on.
What aspect do you think that is? And do you think that that's an aspect that they are going to address and it's going to become something of a strength?
So I think they have really trended in a very positive way offensively in terms of the post-Tucker Kraft era. But I think they're still not quite certain of what they want it to look like, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm missing Tucker today. I think is going to be the one that hurts the most.
Totally agree. And I held off on writing. I talked to all 4 of the tight ends, if you include Darian Kennard, because first of all, I had other stories I wanted to write, but also maybe they find a way for all those guys to be productive again. They all had a catch except for Kennard, who has never played anything other than offensive line, but he does work on the jugs machine. So be on the lookout for maybe a trick play to Darian Kennard. I don't think that that's in the playbook yet, but he does go to the tight end meetings. But no, I don't think they've found I think they found that they can not even recreate him in the aggregate, Gabe, but more, all right, each of these 4 guys that are trying to fill the Tucker Kraft void have different skills that if we can utilize them correctly, we can reduce, but certainly not eliminate the void that's created by his injury. But I love where they've been in the passing game with all their wide receivers. And yet, to my point, Romeo Doubs had been such a crucial third down guy, red zone guy. He was a nobody last week. He had 2 targets. He had no catches. And so I think they're still trying to figure out what that looks like. And then on top of that, they're going to try and reintegrate Matthew Golden today, which what exactly is his role? Because you saw what they did when they were reintegrating Jaden Reed. They went to him on the first play of the game. And that was by design, Jaden said this week. So I think they're still finding their post-Tucker Kraft vibe offensively. And I think this is a game against a really good defense, which provides the kind of test you want if you're trying to figure that out.
Good point. Good point by Jason Wilde, who's joining us here on Green Bay Game Day. John, you look like you've got something on your mind.
Well, I was just thinking if the trick play, if that is a rumor, if that is not true, indeed, then would that not just be a Kennard as well?
Nice.
It's just, that's between you and I, bud. I don't know if anybody else is there, but, somebody has to appreciate, the thesaurus sitting next to in my desk next to my computer. Here's what I want to know. Who doesn't care? What I want to know is, from what your grand experience is, this team is really great in the first 15. Why do we struggle post 15? Because it looks to me like 16 through 35 sometimes baffle the head coach.
Yeah, I think that's a fair critique. I also would say that there have been times this season where I didn't think they looked that great in the first 15 either. I think we, especially the 5 of us, because this is the team we are so focused on, we see the flaws so much more clearly than the other teams in the league that also are flawed. But it does feel like I would use, even though this doesn't prove your point about the 16 to 35 window, I would look at what they did in the third and fourth quarter until the drive where Jacobs converts the 3rd and 2 with the ridiculous Houdini 21-yard run and then barrels in for the touchdown. They went 3 and out. They went big, quick touchdown to Watson and then another 3 and out. Look, all offenses have 3 and outs, right? Even the best ones. Even the Aaron Rodgers offenses of 2011 when he won his first MVP and he had an outstanding right tackle protecting him. They still had some 3 and outs. These guys have probably had a few more than you would prefer. And I think that's, again, part of it. And that's what leads to your feeling about whether it's the second quarter. Whenever those strike, it feels like they almost string a couple of them together, which is unfair to them because they had a quick strike touchdown in between the 2 of them last week. But they seem to hit a lull where they don't, even if they go 3 and out on one drive, they get 1 first down and then they punt again. And Daniel Whelan ends up out there in successive possessions. I don't know how many times that's happened, but that's the feeling I get. I just need that guy that Schefter was retweeting today to back up my feeling with stats like he did with the Micah Parsons hold stat.
Yeah, is it 307 straight pressures or rushes?
300 straight pass rush reps.
Rushes, yeah.
Without drawing a hold. Drew a hold in week 3. Hasn't drawn one since. That's 307 pass rush snaps.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, but Homer said that Tom Silverstein had a different stat on that. I'm sorry, I was talking. I didn't mean to do that to you.
I was asking if Brian ever got that kind of favorable treatment.
He never held. Just ask him.
Yeah, I wasn't a big holder. And when I just wasn't a holder. When they threw the flag, it was a complete bad call all the time. Like I just made a mistake.
Just like the guy that played the position before you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just no mistakes, just bad calls. I mean, that's really all it was. Do you think that with all this fuss being made about that this week, do you think we see a couple handkerchiefs on the field today for old Micah? Because I mean, there's been a lot made about it. It's almost inevitable, right? Like when there's this, and then Schefter's retweeting it, and it just seems like when a big deal gets made about this, normally there's a reaction from, the league office, and then that obviously it doesn't get passed down to the officials, but somehow the officials then start paying attention to it more, and things like that happen.
So I think there's a couple of things at work. One, and you probably do this with your kids' teams that you coach, and whatever level of high school or college coaches listen to the program. They all work the officials, right? There's a reason why they do that. It's not just because they are lonely and need someone to talk to, right? They're trying to, Krzyzewski in the national championship game in 2015. There is a psychology to it, right? The officials, even though you get a different crew every week, they are human beings, right? We haven't gone to robot officials, so they're aware of this stuff. And by the way, I think this crew, if I remember the tweet from Football Zebras, I don't know. I don't know the name. I don't know who the ref is. I just know that I read this earlier in the week. I think they're one of the highest penalty throwing crews in the league. So if that's the case, you would like to think that they will, if you're a Packers fan, see a flag or two thrown to Micah's benefit. But one of the things we asked Parsons this week, and I think it's really interesting to me, is that he really isn't a fan of flopping. Because he feels like if he does that, he's basically giving up on the play and now hoping that the official will give him, even if he believes he is being held, his philosophy is, I need to fight through it. And it's kind of a chicken and the egg thing, right, Gabe? I need to fight through it in case they don't throw the flag, and it causes them to perhaps not throw the flag because he keeps fighting through it.
It's like Giannis in the NBA. He doesn't get enough calls because he plays through the contact. He's strong enough to play through the contact, so he doesn't get those calls, and then he's still able to finish. Micah's good enough where he's playing through those holds, playing through those double teams, and that draws the officials not to call it sometimes.
Well, let's put it this way. He'll never get a call getting double teamed. He'll never get a call getting double teamed. He'll never get a holding call when there's two guys on him. So because right when they see a double team, their eyes go somewhere else because they just look at that as, nope, you're not going to get. Yep, he's out of the play. You're not getting a holding call.
Well, so I know you weren't a holder, but knowing that, would anybody that you played with? They can remain anonymous if you'd like, but knowing that, would anybody in the double team just kind of grab someone? Would that happen on occasion?
Yeah, that's what you do on especially pass blocking. You would, what you do is, when you're double teaming, if you're double teaming on a pass blocking rep or even run blocking, you're one guy because if you're double teaming someone, you could always most of the time this would happen when you would have tight end in protection. He'd be blocking the defensive end. You'd be combo blocking with the guard, mostly play action. You and the guard would combo block. You would both grab a hold of that D tackle and grab and just hold the crap out of him.
Well, the guard would, you wouldn't.
Sitting would, yeah. Sitting would.
Sitting or laying would do it. And then I would just put my hand on his shoulder pad.
Correct.
I would just place my hand on his shoulder pad because then I would go look out to help the tight end. So while you're securing a guy and making sure he can't move, you are going to help your tight end out. And then the minute you go run out and help your tight end and you secure that defensive end with your tight end, the refs are going, well, there's two double teams happening here. Like there's constant double teams. Like they're just not going to throw those flags. It's just not. They just don't look at it that way. They think like it. Like you'd have to literally be bear hugging him with two guys and literally two guys tackling him to the ground to get a holding call on a double team. It just doesn't happen much. You see more holding flags on defensive guys on double teams for them grabbing offensive linemen and restricting them from getting off on the next block, actually. So, like, it's kind of like backwards from that standpoint of offensive lineman double team, no flag. It's very, very rare to see it. And that was something you just got to learn the game within the game. There's a game within the game. Got to learn it.
Fascinating stuff there. Brian Bulaga, Jason Wilde, John Anderson, Game Nights, Alex Strofe with you here on Green Bay Game Day. Broad Schoolers, friends, you've got it all, but rolling into the tailgate with a clean car, the real MVP move. Keep it spotless with the Tsunami Express Car Wash membership. 13 locations and growing. It's easy to swing through on your way to the action. Tsunami Express, wash, chill, repeat. We roll on in the Jason Wilde Hour right after this on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
College hockey fans, get ready because the ice is heating up in Milwaukee for the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 powerhouse programs, 2 action-packed days, 1 champion. It's Wisconsin, Boston College, Lake Superior State, and the defending national champion, Western Michigan. Battling it out December 28th and 29th at Fiserv Forum. Feel every bone-rattling hit and every clutch goal as these elite programs collide for holiday bragging rights. Tickets are moving fast. Grab yours today at Ticketmaster.com or the Fiserv Forum box office. The Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. 4 teams, 1 trophy. Who will own the ice?
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 20, Maurice Lucas, retired in 2006. Lucas at Marquette only 2 years, but he was so good. 74 NCAA championship game against NC State, 40 minutes, 21 points, 13 rebounds. In the semi-win over Kansas, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Also, that game-winning shot in a win over Wisconsin that created the legendary post-game photo of the father of 2 Badger players very upset with Al McGuire. For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand?
cheering for the Packers with an ice cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Brian Balaga, John Anderson, Jason Wilde, all with you. About 2 hours from kickoff between the Packers and the Broncos out in Denver. Jason, we talked with Rob about this about an hour ago, but curious on your perspective. Josh Jacobs likely going to play today. Emmanuel Wilson dealing with an illness, but also likely to play today. What should we expect from the Packers running backs as this is also a short week for the Packers? They play 6 days from today against Chicago.
Well, what did Rob say? He knows everything. Just ask him.
Oh, wow. A shot across the bow. Wow.
Just a joke. Come on. No. Come on.
Beat reporter beef. Beat reporter beef.
No, I was
I back for Christmas.
Look, I think what's really interesting about this challenge, and I actually was asking what Rob said so I don't repeat it, but one of the things is that, Josh Jacobs, the previous Thursday, said very clearly, I'm not going to stop practicing. I'm not going to change the way I play.
Okay.
A few days later, he's not practicing on Wednesday. He's not practicing on Thursday. And call me crazy, but he actually felt better on Friday after not practicing for 2 days. That's how that works, right? Now, I think it's critical for him not to get hit on that knee. Now, again, does that sound like ultra insightful information? No, it does not. I'm sure Rob was much more insightful than that. But he didn't get hit on the knee during the Bears game. And he still was dealing with swelling and pain and discomfort. He got hit squarely on the knee in the Thanksgiving game by Brian Branch, and it was much worse to deal with. So, you can't, he's not going to change the way he runs. He's not going to favor that knee. I think it was Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated who asked LaFleur if there was any consideration to, hey, maybe we shouldn't play him and have him fresh for the Bears. And because like you're pointing out, it's also a 1 day shorter week, and LaFleur dismissed that out of hand. So what I thought was fascinating was yesterday the news of Emmanuel Wilson's illness. Like, there have been guys, the Bears' backup quarterback, Badgett, he was inactive today, right? Because he had an illness. We all remember how Christian Watson ended up playing in the regular season finale a year ago is because Romeo Doubs was sick. So even if Emmanuel Wilson plays, exactly how much is he going to take in terms of the workload off of Josh Jacobs if he's under the weather and it is affecting his performance? So I think I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if Rob felt like he did, but I would say that it is one of the things that is going to bear very close monitoring today, because are they going to, in a game like this, are you going to go with Pierre Strong, who was called up from the practice squad for 10 snaps at running back? Or are you going to go with Chris Brooks, even though he doesn't give you a whole lot beyond blocking and maybe catching a ball out of the backfield? I think it's going to be really interesting to see what approach they take.
Yeah, and I think that trying to run the football effectively today is going to be big, because the Broncos are a team that don't have to drop an extra guy in the box. That's how good they've been against the run this year. And if they're allowed to sit back, Jason, that makes Jordan Love's job a little bit more difficult, because they've been able to run the ball a little bit more efficiently the last couple of weeks. They've been seeing some of those single high safety looks, teams taking more chances, which has allowed Jordan to have some of the big plays that they had against Detroit and against Chicago.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right about that, Gabe. Like, everyone's all excited. Oh, they're being more aggressive. They're taking shots downfield. Well, right, because the defenses they're facing are amenable to that. Like when you don't see them taking a ton of shots down the field against two high safeties, right? Matt LaFleur is not going to violate his rules in order to do that just because people want him to be more aggressive.
Yeah. Will be interesting to see as the Packers head to Denver to take on the Broncos today. Hey, download the Prize Picks app today. I knew that was going to happen. Use code GKB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code GKB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Jason, I'll let you take it from here. Prize Picks.
It's right to be good, isn't it? It's good to be right.
Very good from Jason Wilde. And speaking of good with Jason Wilde, yes or no, everybody's favorite game, America's favorite game.
Who's everybody?
America, John, America. Yes or no?
It's a synonym for nobody.
Is coming up next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun, and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
At every meeting, at every new beginning, at every celebration, we make better happen. At Cousin Subs, better is more than just a word. It's a promise we serve at every party. Our customizable party boxes, box lunches, party chips, and dozen cookie boxes offer the options you need to please any crowd. Whatever the occasion, we will never settle for being just good enough. Order on our mobile app or online at cousinsubs.com. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Game day in Green Bay means friends, food, football, and fun. But first, make sure your ride looks the part. Whether you're rolling up to the tailgate, headed to the watch party, or just cruising around town, a clean car sets the tone for victory. At Tsunami Express Car Wash, you'll get a fast, premium shine every time. Plus, free vacuums and detailing tools keep things looking spotless inside and out. With 13 locations and growing across Wisconsin, it's easy to swing through your way to the action. Kick off game day the right way. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 28-ounce selective varieties, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, $2.79. 0.75 to 2.64-ounce selective varieties, McCormick packet gravy, 4 for $5. 24 to 28-ounce selective varieties, grown in Idaho frozen potatoes, 2 for $7. 15 to 150-count selective varieties, solo cups or plates, 2 for $7.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top.
Free from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
For general contest rules, visit ESPN Wisconsin Contest.com.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakgeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Yeah, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. I'm Alex Strofe with Gabe Neitzel. Brian Bulaga, John Anderson, Jason Wilde are here as well. Will Summers running the show for us, as always. And it's an exciting time of the day. And it has nothing to do with the chili cheese hot dog that I downed in the commercial break there.
I'm nervous for me.
Why?
Because you just downed a chili cheese hot dog in like 30 seconds, and now I got to sit in the studio with you for the next 2 hours.
That's disgusting.
Why is that disgusting?
I mean, how do you do that in like 30 seconds? I mean, it's just...
Well, so, like, Brian, as I'm sure you're learning, as radio professionals and content professionals, we get 4 minutes. We get 4 minutes, okay, in commercial. And I had not eaten. I've been here since about 9:30 a.m. I have not eaten anything today. And I realized that was becoming an issue for everybody. I wasn't on my A game. My stomach was growling. I needed to solve it. So we work next to a food hall. So I placed a mobile order for a chili cheese hot dog because I knew I could go get it and eat it in the 4 minutes. And I had about 90 seconds to spare.
Strofayashi.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could have ate something before you came to the studio.
Yeah, that was an idea. I frankly, I just kind of ran out of time. And
poor planning.
Sleep in a little bit, or what happened?
A little bit. Yeah, I got up about 8:45. I took a shower, and then by the time I was dressed and ready, I needed to leave.
Did you eat it, or did you just shove it straight into an artery?
I am not going to answer that question with yes or no, and neither are you with these questions. It is time now for yes or no with Jason Wilde.
Will today be the day there are black and white answers from our most respected journalist?
Possibly. I think we shouldn't be greedy. Maybe. You would certainly hope so.
It's time for yes or no with Jason Wilde.
All right, I've got a list of questions. I am looking for responses with either the words yes or no, specifically from Jason and John. We'll see if they go ahead and play along with me. Let's start with this. Yes or no, Matt LaFleur has rediscovered his play calling swagger over the course of this 4-game win streak. Jason?
Sort of. I'm not sure he had lost it so much as the voids created by injuries and then an offensive line that was inconsistent forced him to try and figure out on the fly the best way to call his offense. So that's actually a true maybe, and not just one that I'm forcing, because I think you could say both as Gabe shakes his head.
Well, I honestly don't know, because I'm not play calling guy. Most people are frustrated if things don't work out with the execution. You don't know how many times a can plays a real can, how often it's a dummy can. To me, it's the health of the offensive line and the consistency of the offensive line. How many times have we heard Blue just talk about, having those 5 and having your 5 out there and how they can become one cohesive unit? John talked about it, and I need a hero. All 5 offensive linemen are as one hero because they play as a unit. And Anthony Belton's their best right guard. Don't know why it took him this long to figure that out, but he's their best right guard. And then Sean Ryan's been playing center better than Elton Jenkins was. Wow. And with those two being better and Aaron Banks being healthier, this offensive line's playing better than they were at any other point in the season. And that's opened up everything that they want to do because they're able to run the football more efficiently.
So hold on, because I hear, I don't want to say a level of frustration, but almost a level of
Well, no, fans just do this every year with play calling, and I'm just not play calling guy.
But
I don't
hold
think
on.
anybody can be play calling guy because we don't know what the play call actually is, was, or was meant to look like.
But you did take part in some of the Matt LaFleur criticism earlier in the season, yes?
Correct. So again, I feel like most, if it's going to be critical of play calling, it's like run or pass, right? Oh, he's too predictable. Well, I don't understand what that means. But they were, because their offensive line was bad at run blocking, just constantly banging their head against the wall because they just, they've got 2 high safeties. We better run the ball here, even though they were terrible at it. Like, that was the frustration of just constantly running into a wall and then putting themselves behind the sticks and making it 2nd and 8 or 3rd and 7 and just putting themselves in advantageous situations. And that over and over and over again wasn't working. And now it's been working because they figured out the right combination that they need.
So simply put, it's not Matt LaFleur necessarily rediscovering his swagger. It's the offensive line.
It's the offensive line playing better.
Got it. John Anderson, I go to you with the same question.
I'm in the maybe I don't know category as well, only because I look at play calling a lot like my NCAA tournament picks, which are perfect every year, and it is not on me if the team cannot live up to my lofty expectations for them. Right? I'm pretty sure when Matt sends them in, the play is going to work, and if it is not executed properly, who is that on exactly? There are times when I think he baffles me, that he is aggressive in spots where you think he would be more conservative. But I guess maybe isn't that the idea of good play calling, is to, like the pitcher, you only need 2 plays, the one they're looking for and the one to cross them up. And sometimes he goes for the one to cross them up and baffles, I think, everybody. But it is, if it was a perfect science, then the first 15 that I think they do a pretty good job of would be great along the way. So I think this is a complete unknown for those of us that have not had to call whatever that really long, 25-word play call. By the way, Blue, how many of those words do you listen to when they bring in the play? How many of those are pertain to you?
Not a bunch of them. I mean, there could be tags to it where there is like a fake can or a fake dummy or play action, or there's tags on it. There's tags on plays where like the backside guy could be man blocking and the rest of the people are zone blocking. So there's certain words you have to catch in each play call that you got to pay attention to. But once he goes through the formation, don't really care about that too much unless you got a tight end next to you. Then he goes through runner pass. You listen to the runner pass call. And then there's a lot of gibberish that happens a lot, like X ghost Y Z. Like you're just like, all right, like I don't care about any of that stuff. Like that, just what's runner pass? Which way are we going? What's the snap count? Like let's go. But that's a lot. That's why most of the time people would see the lineman breaking the huddle with Aaron before he was done calling the play, because like we're good. We got to get to the line. Like you're still drawing up stuff in the dirt. We got to get to the line, dude. Like we're out of here. Like it just. But there's a lot of long play calls, and this offense too. To Gabe's point about talking about, and my answer, just so we know, is like I don't think Matt ever lost his swagger, the play calling. I don't think that ever happened. I'm with everyone else. That like there's been a lot of changes, and he's been trying to figure out the formula to the changes, and that's harder to do when guys are in and out and mixing around. But this offense, there's times where 2 plays, maybe 3 plays will get sent in, and it's up to the guy at the line of scrimmage, changing calls. So like you may say this should be an obvious run. This should be obvious run, but based on what the look is, play gets canned and they're throwing it. And like it is what it is, based on looks, based on tendency, based on defensive formation. Maybe it's a dirty look to run into. You got to check out of it to pass, and like it's just the way it works out at the line of scrimmage. So you may say you should pass it here. Well, that may be a really bad look to throw that play in, so we're checking it to a run, and like it's just the way things work out.
Good discussion from that yes or no question. How about that? Maybe this segment does work.
All right, stop patting yourself on the back and ask the next one.
Yes, sir. Jason, yes or no? Wide receiver Christian Watson against cornerback Patrick Surtain is the most intriguing matchup in this game today.
I think there's a lot of intriguing matchups in this game today. I'm very curious, going back to Gabe's point about the offensive line, how is Anthony Belton going to fare when they line up Zach Allen on him, right? How are the tackles going to handle Benito Santiago, Nick Benito? I'm very curious. I've tried a couple variations on that.
Against Benito Santiago.
Yeah, he's La Isla Bonita is also one of my favorites because I'm a big Madonna guy. But the dude's really good. Even though they're tied, I would say that Micah Parsons is an echelon above Nick Bonito, but he's had back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, which is not easy to do in the NFL, as Rashawn Gary can attest. So he's a really good player. Who's the other guy? Owens. I always forget the other guy. It's like the three. It's like Seinfeld with the three tenors. You can never remember the other guy.
The other guy.
So that offensive line is going to have their hands full today. Both the interior guys and the edge rushers are really good. So to me, that's an interesting matchup. I also think the matchup of what they're going to do in terms of Cortland Sutton.
There you go.
And I'm curious how they're going to cover him because there's been some inconsistency there too. We were all on board with the Carrington Valentine train, and I still think he's a really good cover guy. But then you look at what, Nixon did not have a good game for most of the game against Chicago, but he made a fantastic play on a guy that he wasn't even supposed to cover, and he was the hero.
Fair point. John Anderson. Watson versus Surtain.
Well, on the plays that he covers him, yes. And if he doesn't cover him every bit of the game, well, then no. So yes or no.
I like that answer.
Yes and no.
That's a really good answer by John Anderson. I think that's the first of its kind. I love innovation, Gabe.
The one I'm actually looking forward to the most is the Broncos love to play man coverage. And Jaden Reed, in his first 2 years in the NFL, struggled against man coverage. Coming off of an injury, we've seen Christian Watson really grow and develop and become the guy that he thought he could be, and he's been really good. And now I think we've got an opportunity to see if Jaden Reed has been able to grow in year 3 and be a little bit better against man coverage, try to create some of the separation, be a little bit more precise with his route running, and be able to beat man coverage because that's going to be a big thing for the Packers today.
Good stuff from Gabe Neitzel. Brian, last one to you.
Yeah, I think there's too many good matchups to point out one. Like I said at the beginning, this is like a high-level NFC championship, AFC championship type game. There's more than one good matchup on the field happening on both sides of the ball at once. So, it's hard to say, that one or that one. There's tons of good ones that you're going to have to dial into and pay attention to. It's why the All 22 after the fact is going to be really fun to watch because, there's so many different, matchups on all different levels of this offense and defense that are going to be really fun to kind of look at, and can't pick one. Too big of a game, too many good players to just pick one.
Yeah, no argument from me there. I just thought we should highlight that one because I feel like we haven't done a good enough job of it yet. That's one that really intrigues me. Green and Gold fans, it's game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi, whether it's Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced in Cola. Bacardi, your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida, rum 40% alcohol by volume. We will take a look at the injury report and get final thoughts and evaluation from our buddy Jason Wilde. Coming up on the other side, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
The holidays are the perfect time to thank the people who make your business shine. At Alpha Custom Apparel, we help you create custom gifts and branded apparel that show true appreciation. Whether it's polished polos for your sales team, cozy quarter zips for employees, or thoughtful giveaways for your best clients. We make it easy with fast turnaround, creative options, and Midwest service you can count on. This season, give gifts that build pride and strengthen relationships long after the holidays are over. Visit alphacustomapparel.com and start your holiday gifting today.
Now
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by Fifth Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Welcome to Jackpot Land this fall at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all fall to win your share of thousands in prizes each month and earn entries into the big December Jackpot Land prize drawings. Your October, November, and December entries all count. Win thousands in cash or reward play. Welcome to Jackpot Land, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 24, retired, honoring George Thompson. Too bad he didn't wear 40. He was Marquette's all-time leading scorer for 40 years, and he played only 3 seasons. Al McGuire said it best. Everything at Marquette changed after George Thompson, a high school superstar in the New York City area, came here. And years later, Shaka Smart added, for those that weren't around in 1969, George Thompson, the original Dwayne Wade. Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. When it's game day, every detail matters, from the perfect seat on the couch to the perfect spread on the table. For over 125 years, Coops has been bringing incredible flavor to the table with 14 bold mustard flavors that turn good food great and great food amazing. Whether it's brats, burgers, or pretzels at halftime, Coops isn't your ordinary mustard. It's extraordinary mustard. So this football season, bring the bold, bring the flavor, bring Coops. Coops Mustard, spreading the love since 1897.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
And we continue here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. As is today's injury report. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for more information on the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. All right, a couple of notes here from the Packers injury report, which was just released moments ago. Both running backs are active. Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson will play. I shouldn't say all running backs are active because that means Pierre Strong Jr., who was called up from the practice squad, is a healthy scratch today. Another active that is worth pointing out. A man who has missed most of the last 2 months with a foot injury, defensive lineman Lucas Van Ness, is active today for the Green Bay Packers. So that is a nice piece to get back in Denver for Green Bay. So Wilson, Jacobs, Van Ness, all active. Your inactives are as followed. Running back Pierre Strong, offensive lineman Donovan Jennings, defensive lineman Quinton Bohanna, wide receiver Savion Williams, and defensive linemen Nazir Stackhouse and Barron Sorrell, your inactives for the Packers today. But Lucas Van Ness is back. Josh Jacobs will play, and Emmanuel Wilson, who was added to the injury report with an illness, will also play today for the Packers. Jason?
Well, I think it's interesting that Stackhouse with the situation at defensive tackle, has now been inactive consecutive weeks. They must really like what Jordan Riley, who they picked up off the Giants practice squad, has done. Between him and Bohanna, those two guys are both. They're not listed at 350 apiece, but I think they're both 350 apiece. But we all fudge on our weights, except for John Anderson, of course, because he's too honest to do so. But interesting that they choose to go that direction. Also, Barron Sorrell has been active for most games this season, so they must feel pretty good about where Lucas Van Ness's foot is, because the last time he came back, he lasted about 6 snaps. And Gabe and I talked about this during the week on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I still find myself wondering if they have allowed guys to influence the decision on whether they are activated or not for a game, and then later regretted allowing them to play. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Lucas Van Ness better play more than 10 snaps today.
Well, so that's the interesting part here now, Jason. I asked Rob when he joined us to rank what he would think or what he would do in terms of snap counts for the wide receivers. So after Micah Parsons, what do you think the Packers should do in terms of snap counts between Rashawn Gary, J.J. Enagbare, and Lucas Van Ness?
Yeah, I think J.J. the jet plane, if this is a meritocracy, he deserves to play more than Rashawn Gary. He just does.
Even though Rashawn's playing the run so well?
That's what I've been told. And look, I understand how Jeff Hafley has to answer that question. I totally get it. Just as Jeff Hafley totally understands why I have to ask that question. He has not had a sack in 6 games. Elite pass rushers do not go 6 games without a sack. So I understand they're running the ball. I understand there's not pure 7-step drops. I think our guy Justice Mosqueda has pointed out on multiple occasions he doesn't win quickly enough. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of it. I know Mike Wall, I think it was last year, the former offensive lineman for the Packers, did a piece with what he does with his analysis, which I certainly obviously prefer Brian Bulaga's 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000.
Well, yeah, because Bryant's never held, and obviously Wall has over the course of his career.
Clearly. But he actually talked about how Rashawn Gary's approach is if he was an offensive lineman blocking Rashawn Gary, he would thank him for the approach he takes in terms of getting off the line of scrimmage, because it actually helps the lineman. That was something that Mike criticized him for. Bottom line, I want to see Enagbare play more. And I think that he has earned more opportunities. Matt LaFleur said that during the week. We'll see if they end up splitting snaps like they did last week. I think Gary played 40 and Enagbare played 39.
I just want to see Lucas Van Ness play.
Yeah, me too. I was just about to say the same thing.
Whether it's he's healthy and playing or when he's been in the lineup. He's, to me, he was a backup at Iowa, situational guy, and I feel like that's what he's become here, and he just hasn't even lived up to a lot of the situations. So maybe I'm harder on him than others, but he is just not – there's nothing that I have found in his game yet that has justified the pick.
Bingo.
That high.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, John, is I don't think you're being harder on him than others.
I'm big on the BHA, right? I'm big on drafting the best Hawkeye available. I don't want to get down on – fairness. I'm big on the BHA, but he is not a BHA.
Yeah, they did a great job with that in 2010. No doubt about that. But I don't know about the 13th overall pick a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, so the Van Ness pick and kind of how he's developed has been interesting to me, right? Like, because obviously in Iowa, I got to watch him and kind of see how he developed, and when he was at Iowa and his body type and his size and everything that he was, I saw, and when they drafted him, obviously they were in a different front. They were in a 3-down front, right? Like this, it was a completely different defense when he was drafted, and the scheme was different. And when they drafted him, like it to me looked more of a 4-tech that can move around when they're a nickel, can kick inside, can do different things. Like that was my interpretation of that pick when they first made him. It wasn't just a straight defensive end, right? Like we're talking about two different skill sets of four-techs. Like obviously J.J. Watt kind of turned that position around, but he wasn't a regular player at the four-tech position. He was a hybrid of a D end and a four-tech. He was a different type of guy, right? But when you think of four-techs, you think of like Kiesel from Pittsburgh and guys like that. Like that's what you think of when you think of a four-tech. Now, when you switch to the scheme and you're asking him now to be like a true defensive end, and you're expecting production of a top 15 pick, and you're thinking top 15 pick, well, I want to see pass rush moves like Micah Parsons. Well, that was never his skill set coming out of Iowa, right? So, like, it was his development was always going to be transitioning out to the edge was going to be slower, right? Like, it was always going to be slower from that standpoint. And right off the get, like, four-techs don't rack up 10.5 sacks a year. Those type of body types don't do that. That's not what they're built for, so to speak. And then before he got hurt, I think everyone can agree, maybe I'm the only one, I thought he was playing well. Like, I thought he was I thought he was playing well, and he was starting to try to, like, he was turning a corner a little bit, and he was really working well off of Micah and doing things like that. And then the injury happens, and he's out for a while, and he plays 6 plays, and now here we are again. So I understand the criticism because, hey, you're picked where you're picked and you're expected to live up to expectations, and there's a lot that goes into that. But there's some nuances to that when you go back to when he was picked and the style of defense that he was drafted into, so to speak.
So Brian, let me ask you a quick question. So they have the cheetah package, right? Which is whether it's Enigbare or Rashawn Gary at one end and obviously Parsons at the other. And the whole idea that they were excited about this year was playing Van Ness inside on third down. Is that somewhere where you can see him excelling if he is back healthy and plays the final 4 games and into the playoffs? Is that somewhere where he can actually have an impact?
Yes, I do, because I think he's big enough, right? He is a physically big enough guy that he can handle interior play. But I also think he has he's developed a good skill set of a defense because he's been training there, right? And has developed a defensive end type skill set to be quicker laterally than the guys on the inside, right? You could ask all the guards that I've ever played with, TJ Sit, they hated the guys that were defensive ends that kicked into guard. So the Michael Bennett's and all those guys that would move from end and on third down kick inside, they hated it because it's a completely different body type, and you're not really looking for that type of body type on certain situational football, like in third down and long. Like, you don't want that guy. You want the 330-pounder that just runs at you. You don't want the 295-pound defensive end that runs really well and has good hands and has power. So, like, he's a very good mismatch in those type of situations. And from where he was developing his pass rush moves, he was a bull rush guy, right? Like that, and that's what he was at Iowa. He would overpower guys. He had a good long arm, and he would work his long arm back inside and kind of swim back over, and he was very good at that. That's hard to do at the NFL level against NFL tackles, like all the time. Like, because NFL tackles, like, we would prefer you try to run down the middle with a long arm. Eventually we'll sit on that. We'll end up short setting you. We'll get our hands on you quick, and we'll beat that quick. So he started to develop a little bit more of, run counters to things before he got hurt, and then he gets hurt, and you don't know what you're going to get, right? That when you come back from this type of injury, and obviously now you're nursing a foot too. It's kind of it's an interesting situation that he's in. But I do think if he kicks inside, especially on these cheetah packages, and he gets the 20 snaps or whatever it may be, it's not going to be a lot. There's no way it's a lot of snaps. It just won't be. I think he can be very effective in there, especially when you have Micah next to you or whoever the other defensive ends are. Extremely effective. And based on where the center slides, him looping around and going to the weak side of where the center slides, like, there could be a lot of ways they can work him and get him home essentially without having him to be an elite pass rusher like Micah. No one's like Micah. That's why I think that's where Packer fans need to understand. Rashawn's not Micah. Van Ness is not Micah. There's not many Micahs in the NFL. Like Cleveland has, like I've said this a million times, Cleveland has one. Obviously, like TJ Watt, when he's healthy, he's one of them. The two guys down in Houston, they're very good. Like, there's not many Micahs in the NFL. So, you can't expect every guy to look like Micah when he's ripping off the edge. It just doesn't work.
Very good stuff, as always, from our buddy Jason Wilde, who you hear each and every weekday from 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch. Make sure you leave Chad a note in the office, in the facility you're in, saying thank you.
I took his business card. I'm going to drop him a note and maybe with a screenshot of the five of us knuckleheads with me emanating from his office.
Very good. Jason, we'll be hearing you on Green Bay Game Night tomorrow at 9 o'clock on Wilde and Tausch. Thanks, buddy.
All right, let's go Heats. Last game before I head back to watch the game. So big one for the Heat. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Heat culture indeed, as this sweatshirt reads on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee at ESPN Madison. Coming up next, we'll take a look around the NFL and the NFC North here in Week 15 of the NFL season, and a ton more to come in the 2 o'clock hour, which will start about 2:15. Good clock management by me when Jason Wilde joins us right here on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launchpad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? The Packers have the longest winning streak in the NFC after their fourth straight victory over the Chicago Bears last week.
Love has time. Floats one. Watson. Touchdown, Packers.
All of a sudden, this looks like a team with real Super Bowl aspirations. But hold your horses. This week, the Pack head west to take on the Denver Broncos, who hold the league's longest winning streak of 10 straight.
I was at about 6 there. You don't want to see me go to 10.
The Broncos defense leads the NFL in sacks, but number 10 hopes to make Mile High a scoring gold mine. Something about things getting rocky for the Broncos gives me a mountain high. Denver might be famous for their omelets, but their football team is about to get folded like one. The Packers 9-3-1. The Broncos 11-2 in what could be a shootout of a Super Bowl preview in Week 15 of the NFL season.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Stroh.
Some fun ones across the landscape of the NFL here in this noon slate. The Texans up big, though, on the Cardinals, 30-7 in that one nearing the end of the third quarter. The third quarter is not even half over in Jacksonville, and the Jags are smoking the Jets. It's 38-13. Trevor Lawrence with 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in that one. It's all Eagles as they host the Raiders, 31-0 early fourth quarter of that one. And here are the fun scores. Commanders up by 8 on the Giants mid-third quarter, 22-14. The fourth quarter now beginning in Foxborough as the Bills have scored 21 unanswered and only trail the Patriots by 3. It was 24-0 at halftime, now 24-21 in that AFC East matchup entering the fourth quarter. Mid-third quarter in Kansas City, it is tied between the Chiefs and the Chargers, each team with 13. Chicago has put away the Browns, unfortunately. Caleb Williams threw one of the most ridiculous touchdown passes you'll ever see. It should have been intercepted about 3 different times and was caught by DJ Moore. Bears lead the Browns with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, 21-3. And the Ravens up on the Bengals at the end of the third quarter, 17-0. Those are your noon slate scores. A couple of fun games in the 325 slate, which, of course, includes the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. But Lions-Rams has my attention because I think we're rooting for the Lions today, Gabe.
Yeah, if we want the number 1 seed, and look, if you want that number 1 seed, chances are you probably got to win out. All of these become must-win games if you want the number 1 seed. If you want to win the NFC North, you could lose this game, still have first place on the line next week against the Chicago Bears, and then you'd have to win out from that point forward. So if you want to win the division, you can lose once. You want that 1 seed, got to win the rest of them.
Got to make it a 8-game winning streak to end the season. Run the table, if you will. John, are you comfortable with rooting for the Lions today?
No, and I don't care that much about the 1 seed.
Why not? Why?
I would much rather have the Lions and anybody in my division. I'd rather pound them down and win the division. I just don't know if we have enough data on the one team having the 1 week off has become significant enough to go for. The Packers have certainly shown that maybe it's not the best way to go.
Well, yeah, but by that logic, neither is going to the wild card spot. Last year they were the 7th seed again. They got they didn't play very well against the Eagles.
Yeah, I am saying that. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything statistical about them. So in that case, I want to do all I can to secure the division. So division teams lose, that's fine. That's my focus on that. So I get it, but I don't know that any of the when more than one team had it, it seemed to have a little bit more significance. I don't know why. Maybe it's because some of those other teams were not as good. But I'm fine if it has to come through, and I got to play the extra game. It's okay by me. So, but I'm a contrarian, man. I think there are too many teams in the college football playoff too. So what do I know?
Well, that I agree with.
But the answer to that is to let's do more. Let's have 16 then, because 12 has worked so poorly. Let's go with 16 because that'll make it even better.
Yeah.
So I am all things. I get so before everybody bashes me, I get the revenue generating part of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's why we got to go to seven games in the first round of the NBA playoffs needlessly, and that's why we got to have 7 teams in the playoffs now. And why baseball has to, because somehow 162 games isn't enough to sort out who's any good. We should let in some average teams. I am against all kinds of playoff expansion. I hate it. It dilutes the talent. It dilutes who gets in there. It ruins the regular season, all that other thing. So that's my I'll get over it. All I know is that the idea of if it's bad, we should add more doesn't seem to be the best way to make it. Hey, I know you're an alcoholic. I can solve this for you. Drink more. That'll be perfect.
I can get behind you on that. I make the playoffs harder to get into, not easier.
Yeah,
should be hard to get in, right? That seems to be that's what I don't get. It should be hard to get in. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So
yeah, but that one seed helps.
One seed helps.
But the one seed, especially
if the Packers have the first round. If they get the 1 seed, that's fine. But if not, I think they're capable and they're fine. They seem to do better when they play a little more and let them go. Let's refine this thing.
That is true. I always call Brian a Super Bowl champion, and when he won that Super Bowl, they had to go on the road 3 weeks in a row and win. Yeah. So I guess you might.
And when they won in '96, they were the 1 seed. Neither one of them have anything to do with this year's team.
And then, by the way, look at. Are you sick of the Lions fans in just 2 years? When did they decide they are something? So let's
about 2 years
ago.
Yeah, so let's just take their window and pound them down a little and see what sitting at home for a year does for them again.
Oh yeah, because that is the tough part in terms of that game, John. I don't think I want the Lions in. I don't want to play the Lions a third time.
I don't.
Isn't that the old adage? It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with that.
But it's they've just decided that there's something else in 2 years, and so a little comeuppance wouldn't hurt them.
Before we get to a break, Gabe, just very quick hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
If the Packers are to be the 2 seed and we're to host an NFC North opponent in the first round of the playoffs, who would you rather see? Lions
the Bears.
Bears. Okay.
The Bears, because that defense is just very, very stinky.
Bears. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will take a look at our Gruber Law Office's one call, some of our best bets. We will also get to our final thoughts and game predictions all in the next 40 minutes. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends at V Private Bar Services. They do a great job at all of our Tundra Trio tailgates. Our partners and fans sip on incredible cocktails made by V Private Bar Services. They are the go-to team behind our bar hospitality. They bring the flavor, the flair, and the experience that takes our game day to the next level. Raise the bar for your next event and book V Private Bar Services today. More Green Bay Game Day coming up right after this.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
A blizzard of $300,000 in prizes is rolling into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It's Arctic action. 1 in, Step 1. Earn entries with your rewards card December 1st to the 18th. Step 2. Show up for Thursday drawings. Step 3. Be ready for a chance to pick from a weekly prize board. As a bonus, there'll be a jackpot drawing for the leftover prizes. Arctic action. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Stroh, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champion Brian Bulaga with you. Had a Packers-Broncos just under an hour away from kickoff. No fireworks for road games, thankfully. I didn't get spooked this week. Every week, John, I'm telling you, we're sitting outside of Lambeau Field. An hour before kickoff, the fireworks go off, and I jump. And Gabe calls me on it every single time.
I don't even have to anymore. You just roll your eyes and groan at yourself.
Yeah. Oh. And there's John Anderson groaning at me, being a dummy. Yeah, very good. Every time, without fail. Yeah. Packers are 2.5-point favorites at Denver. They have the longest winning streak in the NFL. The Broncos do. They've won 10 in a row. They've won 11 straight at home. And the public, and it seems Vegas likes Green Bay at least by a hair. I didn't expect to be the Packers to be favored in this game, to be real honest with you.
I guess I wasn't that shocked by it, just based on how the Packers have played pretty well. And it seems like the Broncos have, yes, winning 10 games in a row is no joke in this league, but they've kind of escaped. And a lot of times those lines come down to quarterback play. How well's your quarterback playing versus the other team's quarterback? And Bo Nix, I don't know if he's necessarily regressed this season. I just don't think he's taken the step forward that Sean Payton was hoping that he would.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're doing a lot of this with their defense. I mean, last week, if they don't get a punt return for a touchdown, which those words should probably make you nervous if you're a Packers fan, if they didn't have a punt return for a touchdown last week by Mims, they don't beat the Raiders. And, that's what the difference between beating the Raiders last week was for them. So their offense hasn't been playing at a high level of efficiency, and I think it's just that simple. Jordan Love has looked good, especially on a nationally televised game against the Lions on Thanksgiving, a game that was featured to most of the nation last week against the Chicago Bears, and that's enough for them to be the favorites heading into today's game.
So I don't know if we should be impressed that in these 10 wins, they've been behind in so many of them, that there's overtime wins. Everything other than one or two of them is these one possession games. They've done it against horrible teams and still eked out wins. And so I don't know if there's something like, okay, they're not that good, or if I should be impressed that no matter what it is, they managed to beat the person in front of them. I don't really know what to make of that, because if you just look at the 10, you go through each one, you're like, well, that's not that impressive. You beat them in the overtime. Those guys are lousy. You beat them by a point. And then by the time it adds up, you're like, wait, now they've won 10 in a row. And so maybe I should be impressed, even though not single one of those victories has really overwhelmed me in terms of how great I thought they were.
Especially as of late, to your point.
Yes,
right?
I don't know if I've made my point there, if anybody sees it, right? But just each individual game, you're like, golly, how'd they escape that? They're not that great. And then 10 in a row is like, that's really great.
Well, I'll
go
to the guy that played and won more than 10 in a row in the 2011 season. Winning is just winning, right, Brian?
Yeah, that's normally the way I looked at it. And I understand there were some games that Denver has played like that snooze fest of a Thursday night game against Vegas. Ooh. I think it was a Thursday game that they played.
Right, 10-7.
Yeah, I mean that's just absolutely horrid. That's like
barn.
Yeah, like that's horrid. How they came back against the Giants, I'm not sure how Daboll pulled that one off. You just there's a couple of them that you just look at and you're like, I don't understand. Like, even if Denver's really good, which I think they're a good team, I don't know how teams allow that to happen, right? There's some user error there on the other side of on the opposite side of the field, that there's some issues going on, right? So to say they haven't beaten anyone, Kansas City certainly isn't Kansas City that we're accustomed to seeing year in and year out. I think that's pretty evident. And I wouldn't say that was a walk-away game either, right? In Denver. So, they've – and I think this speaks to, everyone's point that, defensively is what's been keeping Denver together here, right? That's the thing. So, if you're really able to apply pressure to them offensively, which I think Green Bay's defense it has all the tools and all the players and everything necessary to do that, it could free up our offense to play a little bit looser and get the job done. That's just my opinion on it. Because there's nothing like, playing up against a really good defense and having an offense that's also really good, that you're going against. Oh my gosh, not only did we have to score 28 points against this really, really good defense, but they're most likely going to score 28 points, and it's going to be a battle like that. That was how I always felt when we played Seattle. It was all right, Seattle's probably going to match tit for tat here, and we have to go against the Legion of Boom. How are we going to make sure that we put up 28 points? That was always the thought process in going up against teams that on both sides of the ball are very strong. Well, this isn't the case. This isn't the case here, and it's on our defense. You never want to be it's on one side of the ball to get it done. But our defense, and I get they relied on them a lot. I understand that, but they got to have a day. The defense has to have a day and really put Denver in bad situations. Trying not to let them flip the field and putting them backed up and pin them back and get turnovers.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will take a look at our Gruber Law Office one call. We'll take a look at our best bet. We'll continue to preview this one between the Packers and the Broncos coming up next. I just want to give one quick update because it looks like the Patriots are about to return a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown, and now they are back in front.
No, that was their first play from scrimmage.
Oh, it was
after
Trayvon Henderson. You're right. Regardless, that was a ginormous touchdown run by Henderson. Now they are back in front of Buffalo, who scored 28 unanswered. It will be 31-28 with just under 10 minutes to go in New England. That game is unbelievable, what's going on in Foxborough right now. on CBS. So sorry, I got a little distracted. But Gabe, thanks for the cleanup. What a game! What a game! All right, Packers Broncos. We're back on that coming up next as we look at our one call that's all and our best bet. That is next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
One of the best things about the holidays is going home and spending time with family and friends. One of the worst things, getting there. Holiday travel can be tough, especially driving. If you or a loved one needs help after an accident this holiday season, we're here for you. Our top-notch team of experienced professionals is available 24/7. Be safe this holiday season. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
A father faces homelessness. A mother is hospitalized, and there's no one to watch their children. La Causa Crisis Nursery and Respite Center is the only free 24/7 crisis nursery in Milwaukee. It's a safe and nurturing place for children aged 0 to 12 to stay while their parents work to regain stability and strength. Your generosity keeps La Causa's doors open and provides meals, classroom resources, mental health support, and more. Every child deserves the chance to dream, grow, and thrive. Make a difference by donating today at lacausa.org.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an 8+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. Hey, it's Mark Tauscher with ESPN Wisconsin, and there's one place where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks. It's the simplest way to play daily fantasy. Make your player picks in less than 60 seconds. Just choose more or less on at least 2 player stats. You get them right, you can cash in. And new this season, early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you might be able to cash out before the game even ends. And with stacks, you could pick the same player up to 3 times in one lineup, like more on Giannis's rebounds, points, threes, assists. You can only do that on Prize Picks. Deposits are fast and easy with Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakgeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
All right, it is Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Alex Strove, John Anderson, Brian Balaga, Gabe Neitzel. Will Summers is running the show for us as always. how about a 2.5-hour NFL game as the Eagles, maybe not imploding as much as we thought. 31-0, the Eagles beat the Raiders today at home.
Just because you beat the Raiders doesn't mean you're not imploding.
Yeah, sure, but it's a shutout win. So good effort by their defense, who has been pretty good this year. Also, very fast game because every other game.
The Packers to 7, I recall.
That is true. That is true. I recall that as well. I was at that game. It was not a fun one. Not a lot of offense. It was the best seats I've ever had. I was sitting in the end zone, hoping we were going to get a Lambeau Leap. That was the only end zone that there was no touchdowns in. So, yeah, good stuff.
So there were only 2 to choose from, but I get it.
And they both happened on the other side of the field.
That time you were waiting for the fireworks, and they never happened.
Yeah, bingo. There you go. Yep, good call back there by John Anderson. Okay, let's take a look at our Gruber Law Offices one call. Each of us make a prediction for the game ahead. Gruber Law Offices has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people in the state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all for Gabe Neitzel.
I'm going to go Micah Parsons, shutout last week, won't be shutout this week. He's going to have a sack and a half in today's game. Going to be able to get after Bo Nix, get after that offense, because I think the Packers are going to force them into some passing situations. This is a team that was able to run the football earlier this year, but just with R.J. Harvey, they haven't been as consistent as when J.K. Dobbins was available to them. I mean, Dobbins was up over 5 yards per carry, Harvey under 4. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but in NFL standards, that is a lot in terms of your efficiency numbers, and they just haven't been able to be as efficient with R.J. Harvey. So they're not going to be able to run the football, I don't think, and that means Mike and those pass rushers are going to be able to pin their ears back.
I love it. Let's go to Brian Bulaga, your Gruber Law Offices one call.
Yeah, I'm going to stay on that side of the ball, and I think with, obviously, with sacks, when sacks happen, sometimes turnovers happen. So I'm going to go with 2 turnovers from the Packers defense today. I think they turn them over twice. Pick, fumble, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm not going to predict which one. That's not my job to do that. It is to just predict that there's going to be 2 turnovers by the Packers defense, because I think this is a day where more than one is going to be needed. So that's where I'm going with this.
I like it. Defensive first, Gruber Law Offices one call today. John Anderson.
Man, that's I was hoping you were going to pick on me. Weren't going to pick on me first, so I could delegate my time to the other 2. And as you still come back to me, I am still stymied as to what exactly, like, how this thing's going to look. Because turnovers, like, it's good the Ball King's back for Brian. That's why I just can't figure out that there's going to be anything with what I think is going to be this slog up front, which naturally means, right, it'll be 48-47. But just this fight up front, like, what's going to be distinguishing characteristic, or what is it that's going to be? Because I think, well, I like the idea that Watson's going to continue his surge. That's kind of the most and part of that, I think, is because they need to make sure that happens, right? Mm-hmm. We go circle all the way back to Matt LaFleur's play calling. I think they need to continue to do that, because I just think not only is he the best, he can affect the game so many ways and make it. He's one of these guys. He can make it easier for everybody else if he's doing his thing well. And we kind of have thought of him as the speedster originally, and he'll play anywhere and catch anything at any time, which is amazing. So I don't know that I can just say Christian Watson's going to be amazing. I don't know, you can go to the Vegas window with that. Hi, I'd like to put 100 on Christian Watson being amazing. What is that going to be? So what that looked like, I don't know. But much like Brian, if we got to have 2 turnovers, then I feel like you got to have a touchdown from Christian Watson and 4 or 5 catches that aren't like for 32 yards. They've got to be 4 or 5 catches that gets him into the 75-80 range for that offense to be sort of effective in this whole thing. And as much as we've been sharp on defense and the trenches, because I think it's going to be so mucked like that, like I feel like that really increases the pressure on the skill position guys then to make sure that you don't drop a ball, because you're not going to have that many chances. Mm-hmm. Or if you get a crease, that you got to get through that thing and, not die easy on the back end of it, because I just think opportunities are going to be so minimal with how good the defensive lines are in this thing, that it's going to be even more incumbent on them to be at the top of their game, even if they don't get as many chances as we'd like them to have.
Yeah, I hear you on that. If you want to go to the Vegas window on that, John, his over-under prop today is 53.5. So you like the over for Christian Watson?
I think it needs to be over if they're going to do that. Yeah, so I'll go, like if we're prop betting, I think he needs a touchdown. He's got to be over 53.5.
I like it. Quick NFL note. Myles Garrett, 1 sack away from breaking the single-season record. Got his second today on Caleb Williams. You think Mark Gastineau will have anything to say about this record, Gabe Neitzel?
No, I don't think so.
As he did with Brett Favre and Michael Strahan back in 2007.
Yeah. Let's see what Strahan does, though, if next week, whoever he has, and maybe there's a chance that Williams will fall over for him on purpose here in the last 12 minutes of the game. But let's see what happens if that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's true.
The crazy part is, even though we have the 17th game, like he's going to do it less than 16.
Yeah, that just tells you how absolutely dominant he is.
You talked about there's not many Micahs. Have you seen that guy's like this year? It's ridiculous because it's not just 20 sacks. He's got like 30 tackles for losses and actual tackles, which sometimes like his line this year is absurd. The season that guy's having.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Micah's been fantastic, and he has no chance at winning the Defensive Player of the Year. Like, it's already wrapped up. Like, this thing's done. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he may end up setting a benchmark in sacks that will never be touched.
Can't be touched. Mm-hmm. Real possibility for that.
Yeah, like, because he's averaging, like, 2 sacks a game. He had a couple games where he had, like, 5 sacks. Like, it's unbelievable.
He's at 21.5.
So they just ruled. So the second sack he had, he shared. So he's got 1.5 now today. So he's 1 away from tying, 1.5 away from breaking.
But he's at 21.5 on the season. Thought it was 22 when I initially said that. Now down to 21.5. Regardless, he's played. This is his 14th game. So yeah, it's just under 2 a game. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're witnessing it in Green Bay, right? When you have such an elite pass rusher and somebody that can get after the quarterback so successfully, it's a complete game changer. Unfortunately, Cleveland is just not a winning team.
No, he's about all they got going for him right now.
That's it. And maybe somebody wants to go out and say Shador, but it doesn't look that way today.
No.
He's about the only thing they got going for him.
All right, real quick, want to take a look at my best bet. I finally got a win last week, by the way. I'm going to take the victory lap on that one. The Island Resort and Casino, premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com to book your total experience today. I think Josh Jacobs is playing, and he's going to play his normal self, despite missing a few practices this week. I've got him over 61.5 yards rushing.
That would be impressive because that's, again, this is a team that only averages 3.7 yards per carry. That means the offensive line is really pushing some bodies around. It's been tough sledding against this team this year in terms of running the football. So I hope you're right because I think that is a big key to the Packers. If Christian Watson wants to look like Christian Watson, I think the Packers do need to have some success running the football.
Yeah, so that's where I'm placing my money today. With our friends at the Island Resort and Casino. My best bet, that will go to Josh Jacobs over on rushing yards because I think he is still going to get involved and going to need to get involved if the Packers want to go on the road and win. Well, they've only won one time ever, and that was an overtime game in 2007. Let's test Gabe Neitzel's memory and John Anderson as well. Probably a little bit before Brian was paying attention to what happened with the Packers in 2007. How'd they win that game in overtime?
Oh, Greg Jennings.
What'd he do?
I mean, it was an 80-yard touchdown reception, first play of overtime.
81 yards, but very, very, very good.
I was hanging out at the...
very good.
I was hanging out at the Ticket in Platteville.
The Ticket. The Ticket.
The lone.
All I know is that was the first of many times they got over on Jay Cutler.
Yeah, probably with my brother.
Good chance your brother was there, yeah. Good chance.
Most likely.
Amazing. Hey, you and Brian's brother played baseball together?
That's correct, yeah, at Platteville. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow. The Ticket.
Yeah, it's like the one sports bar in Platteville.
Does it still exist?
I haven't been to Platteville in a very long time, so I'm assuming so. Because, again, people would always go there for games.
Yeah. Huh. It's a good name for a sports bar, The Ticket. I like that. All right. Hey, that was our
72 radio stations
Yeah, well, at least, by the way, at least, yeah. The trivia brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. Whether you're just starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University, experience it your way. I'm starting to learn week by week that Gabe Neitzel's memory is incredible. He was sitting at the bar, probably, having a few libations, but still remembers the exact yardage in which Greg Jennings came through for the Packers in that one. All right, we will wrap up Green Bay Game Day coming up next with our final thoughts, evaluations, and predictions at a Packers-Broncos Super Bowl preview. We will talk about that coming up next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
This season, give gifts that are always a win. Island Resort and Casino gift cards, gaming and dining, poolside fun, and overnight stays. Gift cards unlock endless island adventures, like championship golf rounds on Sweetgrass and Sage Run, a blissful escape to the Drift Spa, and an unforgettable evening in the Island Showroom. To buy Island Resort and Casino gift cards, stop by the Island Club or call 877-ISL-SHOW now.
Retail stores may be easy to shop at, but nothing beats a gift that lasts. Give the gift of basketball with Precision Sports Services. Get 10% off any basketball hoop and installation package now through the end of the year. Premium products, professional in-house installation. Visit Precision Sports Services and make your holidays a slam dunk.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see how students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or Student Shadow Day. Meet the inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture, where all students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
This winter, upgrade your home and your savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows, roofing, siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Get it done now and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our biggest year-end blowout. Call 262-800-4274 or head to extpros.com. Don't wait. These holiday savings melt away fast. Exterior Pros and Baths. Your home upgraded for the holidays.
Christmas is a time of generosity.
Kessler's wants to be generous, and we suspect that you want to be generous too. Let's team up.
This year, we're going to make it possible for you to be more generous than ever.
Number 1, Kessler's has a big selection of delightful diamond jewelry priced at $150 on up.
Number 2, great gifts at affordable prices such as sterling silver earrings, pendants, and bracelets to fit every look and every personality.
Number 3, with your purchase of more than $299, you'll get a bonus gift worth at least $90.
You can choose from a lucky 4-leaf clover pendant
or a 22-inch stainless steel curb chain, ion plated in yellow gold.
And please, please don't get all cleaned up and dressed up. This is Kessler's, your home away from home.
If you're wearing muddy boots and your pajama bottoms, that's totally fine.
We've all done it.
Come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Final thoughts. Wrap it up. Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Brian Balaga, John Anderson with you for a couple more minutes ahead of Packers Broncos coming up just about a half an hour. Packers are 2.5-point favorites here in what some are viewing as a potential Super Bowl preview. These are two teams at the top of their conferences or close to the top of their conferences with young rosters, up-and-comers. And they have both had really good seasons, all things considered. Now, the Packers have had some lower moments, for sure, than the Broncos have, as they've won 10 in a row. But I would say the Packers seemingly have gotten back into the rhythm. And it goes back to something we've talked about a ton today with our buddy Brian Balaga, and Gabe has talked about it quite a bit as well, and that's the solidification of this offensive line. They've seemingly figured it out up front, and that has opened up a lot of things for Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, and the Packers offense, and has allowed some of their successes over the course of this 4-game winning streak, which is actually the longest in the NFC, the longest winning streak, 4 games in a row for Green Bay, as they take on the league's longest winning streak in the Denver Broncos. Brian, I want to start with you because I know you're always looking at the game a little bit differently than maybe me, Gabe, or John, being a former offensive lineman, being a former right tackle. And this is a really exciting matchup for those guys up front. They're playing one of the league's best defenses. They're playing the team that is leading the league in sacks by a lot, even though Myles Garrett seemingly has a ton by himself, as we just noted last segment. But what do you make of this matchup for Green Bay's offensive line as they take on Denver and one of the league's best defenses?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably, what we've said before, it's their biggest challenge of the year. And it'll probably be their biggest challenge for the rest of the way. If you had to look down the rest of their games, this is going to be the ultimate challenge for these guys. And I look at it too, and if you perform well on this stage, right, and you do a good job against this Denver defensive line, the confidence that's going to give this group going forward, I mean, you won't be able to put a price tag on it. Like, you just won't. Say you're able to run the ball for 85 yards or 100 yards or whatever it may be, and Jordan stays clean most of the game, and there's no bad sacks or anything like that. The confidence level of this group is going to skyrocket, right? And that's like, we talk about Jordan Love peaking at the right time. Like, that's good. Like, we all want that. That's 100% necessary. But the guys in front of them also need to be peaking. And with the way this group has kind of been shuffling around all year, to have them go into Denver and play a high-quality game and you know, put in some good work, the confidence level for that group will grow tremendously. So, like, I look at this not just like, yeah, it's important for this game, obviously. Like, it's very important for just this game. But I'm looking down the line here, because then you start going into the playoff games and you're like, all right, like, we went into Denver, played that defensive line, and played a really clean game. Who in the NFC now are we going to see that we can't replicate that type of performance? Well, so like this is the type of game that builds confidence for a group that is pretty young. It's a young group, right? And you put on a good display on this national audience again, and do a good job, man. It'll skyrocket the confidence of this group. So, like, I think that's one way that I would look at this thing is, how does this, you know, give a group that has kind of been up and down, but steadily rising as of late, how does this performance kind of give them the confidence going forward where we need them to perform well? And that's late in the year here.
Things are getting chippy already in Denver. A video posted by James Palmer of The Athletic and Bleacher Report before the game. Drake Greenlaw and Nick Bonito over on the Packers sideline, shoving and needing to be separated by some of their coaches. The game doesn't kick off for about a half an hour, but we've already got a shoving match going on pregame. John, what do you think of that?
It's not between the lines, and the game hasn't started. Do whatever you want to do. That's fine. I make nothing of that, other than somebody's an idiot on one of those two sides. You know, like, unless somebody has done something so egregious that they will not be participating, oh well. Get after it. It's 60 degrees. The testosterone's running high. They don't know what to do.
My favorite
Go
part
out
of the
there.
video is you can see Broncos kicker Will Lutz like standing away from where all the shoving is happening, but he's just like kind of watching, just being an onlooker. Gabe, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean,
expect some chippiness.
As long as there's no penalty or anything associated with it, it's weird that two
teams that never see each other.
What's the bad blood here? I don't understand.
It's Drake Greenlaw related, I would assume, given his background. But interesting.
I do have a question kind of related to this about what you said, Brian. You know that this group's got a ton of sacks. They're really good as an offensive line. What's the proper amount of? I have to respect those guys, but I still feel like I can block them. I don't want to be afraid of anybody, right? Like you acknowledge that this is a bigger task than you might against somebody, right? But there's got to be some line to where we're like, okay, but I also can't let them get in my head. I can't let them change what I do, right? So how do you kind of weigh those things as you go into a game?
Yeah, to me, it was always the first two series is how I dealt with that. You understand the challenge going into the game. You understand the guys you're going against. You're watching the tape. You're seeing what they're successful against, right? Like in the guys that they're beating and how they're beating them. You compare that to your game, and you know your own weaknesses, right? Like you know what you struggle with as a player, and you're seeing how they're beating guys and comparing yourself to other tackles, and and what their weaknesses are. So like you're able to get a gauge on what may give you issues early and how you protect yourself against those issues early. And then I always looked at it as first two series is the ultimate like test of, all right, like, is this going to be that type of day for me? Or am I going to be able to like kind of withstand this? Obviously you're on the road too, so there's more to it with the noise and everything with that you got to really factor into it. But like, am I going to be able to withstand what this guy's going to throw at me? Right. Like, because if the first two series go a certain type of way because it's a guessing game a little bit, like, right, as a tackle and you're going against a DN and he's obviously trying to set moves up and do things that he can counter late in the game and beat you, you're guessing a little bit. So if you early on in the game, as I always looked at it, I'm able to guess right early and I'm able to stop moves early and I'm having success early, it puts some doubt in the mind of the pass rusher that like, all right, he's done his homework, right? And then you start to notice patterns changing, and they start going to what you've seen on tape works for them all the time, and that's what you want because you've studied what works for them on tape all the time, right? Like you stop the unpredictable early, you take chances, you gamble a little bit, then they're going to go to their go-tos, and their go-tos because if you haven't been watching their go-tos, then you're not behaving as you should as an offensive tackle going against high-level pass rushers. Like, that's just not what – you're not doing your job properly. So it was always the first two series. Like, if you perform well against those guys in the first couple rounds, right, first third down, first, actual pass rush rep, that kind of sets the stage for what's going to happen throughout the game. But if they get you early – and then you're second guessing hey man, like I thought I would be able to handle this or that, and he got me on this already. Then they're making you second guess what you have going on, and that turns into a little bit of a chess match. When as a tackle, you kind of want to play checkers. You don't want to play chess. You want to play checkers. You want to dumb this thing down and just absolutely just get after them. Like that's what you want to do. You want to make this a one-way road for them, and that's kind of the way I approach games against. I mean, anyone can beat anyone, right? Like that's let me say that to begin with. Any guy can beat any guy. That's how this works. But against the highest of level guys, you want to put that out there early. That like, hey, like I think I've got you figured out, or I think I've done my work on you. That now I'm going to make you just go to what your best stuff is, and I'm prepared for that. Like I've gamed that, and I'm going to actually dictate this thing a little bit. That I'm going to make you rush a certain way because I've stopped certain things early. I'm going to make you do something else that I want you to do, and that's kind of the way I approached games early. And then, there's sometimes you go through games, man, they're going to get you though. Like that's they're going to get you. It's just a matter of being able to like short-term memory that and erase that, because if you start guessing that on them all the time, then it's it turns into a mess.
All right, final thoughts and game predictions. We start with you, Gabe Neitzel.
Okay, I thought a sneeze was coming there.
He's a pro.
Hate
able to hold it back.
Yeah, again, to me, it comes down to the fronts, right? If the Packers front is able to be disruptive and slow down R.J. Harvey, get after Bo Nix, it's going to be a long day. They just don't have enough difference makers on that side of the ball for the Broncos. And on the other side, it starts up because this team is just so good at bringing so many different players. I think I mentioned it earlier, 16 players have at least a half sack. It's 14 players have a full sack. They've got a defensive back that is 4. So it's not even just the front 4 that can get pressure. They'll confuse and disguise some things as you go along. But if the front can keep Jordan Love protected, if they can open up just enough creases for Josh Jacobs, I mean, the last time they lost, it's because they gave up a ton of yards on the ground to the Indianapolis Colts, to JT. He went off in that game, 25 carries, over 120 yards in that contest. Not to say that that's what the Packers need and give the ball to Josh Jacobs 25 times, but if he has a similar stat line to what he did last week, 20 carries, 86 yards, that's going to open up everything else the Packers want to do on offense, and it starts with the 5 guys up front.
Let's go to Brian Balaga. Final thoughts and game prediction.
Yeah, I'm with Gabe. I think this begins and ends up front, and it's one of those unique games that you don't always think of it that way. Everyone says, oh, yeah, it all starts up front. Yeah, but, I mean, if the guys do against some opponents a half-decent job, the quarterback is good enough and the receivers are good enough to get open fast enough and things happen. Well, this game isn't that way because Denver's that good on the back end, right? And I think for us defensively, we're that good. So, like, this truly is a trench game, and it's going to be decided with who's front 5 and who's front 4 does a better job. Like, that to me is truly how this is going to go. And I think offensively we have more, and I think we'll be able to withstand what they have long enough to get some offense going, and I think our defense will be able to put their fire out and kind of tame what they have going on. So I like Green Bay in this, and I don't think it's going to be like a high-scoring game, even though John probably predicted it right. It's probably going to be like 48 to something. It's going to be something stupid. And I'm going to be way off. But, like, I'm going to go Green Bay 20-23. Like, I think it's going to be something low like that. And, but very entertaining, I think, is what it will be.
I feel super similarly to Brian. I think it's like 21-17, 20-17, 23, somewhere in that low-scoring ballpark. But if you hold them to under 21, I think you win this game. So I'll leave my analysis at that and give the final word to John Anderson.
Yeah, so I was thinking it's like 17-14 unless it's 20 points on each side more than that. But the Broncos only seem to win by 3 or fewer, and the Packers obviously when they lose only lose by 3. That's the only only option. It's funny. I think back to what Jason said about we know our team the best, and so you're the most critical. You're like, they've lost 3 games by 3 points. 2 of them are on the last kick. Like, they're so close to being – then we'd be like, that might be fool's gold if they were 11-1-1. But I think it's 17-14. I think it's the Packers. I think they're a better team. I think it comes down to there's going to be a lot of the football – everybody talks about the adversity. I just think there's going to be a lot of these short drives, 3 and outs. There's, 4 or 5, and then you go – and, like, who can just stay with their stuff and is willing to invest in it the longest until they finally can make that imposed onto the other team. And I think there might be some really ugly stretches in this game, but I don't think if you feel like you've got them or they may crack, that you need to stay with it. I think if you just decide, we got to try something entirely new after 3 series that don't go well, that's where you kind of get yourself in trouble. So I think the Packers win, and I think it's because they'll be willing to stay with their stuff the longest until it prevails.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree. But we will see this one play out. And Homer, Tausch, Jason Wilde, Gary Ellerson will all have you on post-game, Green Bay game night, immediately following the final whistle. We'll do it again in 6 days as the Packers visit Chicago and the Bears coming up on Saturday night. Our pregame coverage will begin at 4 o'clock on Saturday with the four of us, and 5 when it's Rob and Jason with us. Good stuff today, fellas. We'll do it again in 6 days. This has been Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's football season, and that means it's time to break out the Bandito. With El Bandito